Chapter 1339. The third Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm Killing Technique was something that could cause many Grand Perfection God Emperor experts to pale in fear. At this moment, the moment the technique was executed, those chaotic origin life forms that charged over felt a huge illusory realm pulling their souls. Being chaotic origin life forms, their souls were naturally much stronger than cultivators who had yet to reach the chaotic origin level. But they were the most ordinary chaotic origin life forms. Their willpower was far weaker than those absolute geniuses. Wang. At this moment, there were 61 chaotic origin life forms within Dongbu Shui Ying's domain region. 8 of them instantly fell. These 8 were the weakest amongst them. All of them were roughly at the middle stage God Emperor strength. Their souls were relatively the weakest, and also the 8 with the weakest willpower. They could not resist against the Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm Killing Technique, and were all exterminated. But the others were all withstood, including those that could exert the strength of a late-stage God Emperor. They could resist against it. Much less God Emperor with the strength of a Grand Perfection life form. The survival capabilities of chaotic origin life forms are indeed much stronger than the natives of the Divine Realm. They are even stronger than cultivators. Dongbu Shuang sighed inwardly. He knew that killing an innate chaotic origin life form was a difficult task. In the Lightning World, if there were any innate chaotic origin life forms with the strength of a Grand Perfection God Emperor, like Fire Phoenix God Emperor, Hidden Willow Valley Master, and others, only the 3 chaotic origin ancestral gods could kill them. Their foundations were too solid. Their fleshy bodies were innately strong. Their souls were naturally strong too. Only their willpower was lacking. This cultivator is truly terrifying. This soul technique. These translucent chaotic origin life forms were conversing with one another through voice transmissions. Even though the late-stage God Emperor could maintain his consciousness, he had to divert 70% to 80% of his heart force to resist against the incoming attack. They temporarily slowed down. So. And the Grand Perfection chaotic origin life forms of God Emperor did not slow down at all. They continued charging towards Dongbu Shuang. Phew! Dongbu Shuang conveniently kept the corpses of the 2 chaotic origin life forms along his path into his storage treasure. Looking at the other chaotic origin life forms that were chasing after him, Dongbu Shuang arced through the air, trying his best to avoid them. He was madly flying towards the distant Scarlet Cloud City. On the walls of Scarlet Cloud City, there were also experts standing guard at all times. On one of the city walls, there were 2 experts standing there, motionless like statues. They had been in charge of guarding here for a very long time. Both of them turned their heads slightly at the same time, looking in a direction outside the city. In an instant, a powerful fluctuation erupted from there. There's a battle. The 2 of them were shocked and looked carefully. One could see many translucent violet-spotted chaotic origin life forms chasing after a white-robed young man. That white-robed young man was currently frantically escaping. At the same time, he was doing his best to defend against the encirclement of the chaotic origin life forms. It's a group of shadow death gods. That person doesn't seem to be from our Crimson Cloud City. Is he a newly ascended cultivator? The 2 of them exchanged a glance, feeling a knot in their hearts. Newcomer. Newcomers who had just ascended would have to face the first trial before they could reach the assembly ground. Clearly, this newcomer's luck was not too good. He had encountered quite a few chaotic origin life forms. Team 1, hurry up and save him. There's a newcomer. Hurry up. The 2 experts in charge of guarding the city walls roared out angrily. Newcomer? Because the 5 great assembly grounds were located in different regions of this world. They were all very far away from each other. Other than when they first ascended, the guiding hall would send them to one of the assembly grounds. At other times, it was impossible for them to reach the other assembly grounds. That was practically impossible, because the distance was too far. Traversing such a long distance to reach another city was simply too difficult. Very few experts would do it. Hence, when unfamiliar experts appeared, they would usually be newcomers who had just ascended. Hurry up and save him. Hurry up and save him. So. A group of figures rushed out. Following that, an enormous lump of lightning wrapped around these figures. Paipa. This enormous lightning was charging in the direction of Dongbo Shuiying at a frightening speed. In terms of flying speed, it was a total of 8 times that of Dongbo Shuiying. Of course, this was also because Dongbo Shuiying was only at the middle stage God-Emperor realm. But with a gap of 8 times, even if Dongbo Shuiying reached the half-chaotic origin lifeform body level, in terms of speed he would still be much slower than this lump of lightning. Dongbo Shuiying also saw an enormous lump of lightning in the distance. It tore through the sky and rushed over. The location he was teleported to was not too far away from Scarlet Cloud City. He only encountered the ambush of the chaotic origin lifeforms halfway through his journey. It's just that there were too many of them. Peng peng. Even though Dongbo Shuiying had a thrilling experience, he could still barely defend against the assault of the chaotic origin lifeforms. These chaotic origin lifeforms that were at the grand perfection strength of God Emperor were ultimately affected by the Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm. They were only left with half their strength. That was why Dongbo Shuiying could continue evading and delaying for time. Newcomer, hold on. A voice sounded by his ears. Seeb, suddenly, an enormous transparent figure burst out from that lump of lightning. This transparent figure was like a bubble. It immediately enveloped the entire battlefield spanning 500,000 kilometers. This enormous transparent bubble then tunneled into the bodies of the chaotic origin lifeforms, causing those chaotic origin lifeforms to let out howls of anger. Their techniques did not change much, but they were clearly cruder. All of them became anxious and furious. So. The ball of lightning turned into 8 figures and charged toward Qin Wentian. One of them even extended his right hand. His right hand flew out, splitting into many golden insects that charged at those chaotic origin lifeforms. Die. There was also a tall and sturdy one whose entire body seemed to be made of stone. He directly fought against the chaotic origin lifeforms with a long sound. There were also some that turned into fog. The dense fog immediately engulfed every single chaotic origin lifeform. Dongbo Shuiying was startled when he saw this. He could see that this group of experts held an absolute advantage. Hence, he gradually kept his Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm technique, and watched by the side. Even though there were only 8 of them, some specialized in domains, some in direct combat, and some in sinister techniques. When they coordinated with each other, those chaotic origin lifeforms immediately began retreating. Some of the weaker late-stage God Emperor cultivators even began dying. Very soon, this group of chaotic origin lifeforms rapidly retreated. After all, there were not too many of them near Scarlet Cloud City. These 8 are all at the grand perfection level of God Emperor. Furthermore, their coordination is too good. With the 8 of them working together, even Cloud Phoenix City Master might not be able to hold on for long. Dongbo Shuiying was inwardly startled. It's just that I can't seem to understand quite a few cultivation techniques. For instance, that giant that seemed to be made of stone. His body was too ridiculously strong. He was able to send those chaotic origin lifeforms flying in a head-on clash. He was much stronger than Iron Dragon City Master and the others. Furthermore, Shuiying could not sense any chaotic origin bloodline aura from the other party. The aura of a chaotic origin bloodline was very obvious. It could be easily sensed during battle. Ordinary Tao comprehension and cultivation? How can one's body be so ridiculously strong? Dongbo Shuiying did not dare believe it. Newcomer, come over. Hurry up and leave. Don't stay in the wilderness for too long. Those 8 people looked at Dongbo Shuiying. Their appearances were strange too. Some were covered in black robes and wielding a scepter. Some were covered in scales and had an enormous tail. Their auras were all different. The ripples they emitted made Dongbo Shuiying feel that they might be experts who cultivated a completely different cultivation system. South, a lump of lightning wrapped around everyone, including Dongbo Shuiying. It rapidly flew towards Scarlet Cloud City. It is slightly more dangerous outside the city. Hurry up and enter the city. Newcomer, your luck is extraordinarily good. At the very beginning of the trial, you met close to 100 Shadow Reapers just as you were flying back to the city? If we were slightly slower, the Shadow Reapers would form a large-scale encirclement, and you would be finished. These cultivators were all laughing. They were still welcoming newcomers. There were very few who were qualified to ascend to this world. "All right, what are you called?" "I am God Eagle Snake." That male with an enormous tail said. "Many thanks for saving my life. I am called Feishue. I have just arrived in this world." Dongbo Shuang transmitted back. Star. Chapter 1340. Enveloped by the ball of lightning, the group flew to the top of the city wall. "You rescued the newcomer?" "From the looks of it, he seems to be a Dao comprehender." The two guards on the city wall looked curiously at Dongbo Shuang. "Brother Feishue, it was Jun Qian and the other two who noticed the commotion and notified us." The giant, who seemed to be made of stone, laughed. "Haha, it is my duty. My name is Jun Qian and he is Fushan." Jun Qian's aura was powerful and vast, and a faint flame could be seen burning in his eyes. As for the other person called Fushan, he was an old man. He wore a golden circlet, on which there were 5 rainbow-colored gems. Dongbo Shuang hurriedly said, "This humble one is Feishue. Greetings, Brother Jun Qian, Brother Fushan." Jun Qian smiled and nodded. Fushan also revealed a smile. Although they came from different worlds, they were all hegemons who stood at the peak of their own worlds. They had all been lonely, which was why they had chosen to come here. However, although there weren't many experts in the sacred world, they could only be considered average. "We shall not disturb the two of you," the giant-tailed god Eagle Snake said. "Brother Feishue, let's go. You have just arrived at Scarlet Cloud City, and there are many things you don't know. Let us show you around first." Together. "Brother Feishue, I'm afraid that you have run out of food. Let me treat you to a feast today." There were a total of 8 people in this team. 5 of them took the initiative to leave, while the other 3 continued to passionately accompany Dongbo Shuang. The 3 accompanying Dongbo Shuang were the giant-tailed god Eagle Snake, the stone giant with the strongest body, Scarlet Devil, and Lei Meng, who transformed into a bolt of lightning and carried the group on their way. "Brother Feishue, don't mind them. Those who can come to the sacred world all have extraordinary backgrounds. In their original worlds, they were all emperors and ancestors. Some were cold and arrogant, while some were eccentric. Previously, they only acted because it was their duty. After rescuing you, they naturally dispersed and went their separate ways," God Eagle Snake explained. "I understand. Now that we are in Scarlet Cloud City, there is no danger. Actually, there is no need of you to accompany me," Dongbo Shuang said. There are only so many cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City. Since a newcomer has arrived, we naturally have to welcome him." The towering Scarlet Demon laughed. "Let's go to Crimson Cloud Hall first and take care of the trivial matters," said Lei Meng. "Arrange a place for us to stay and record the transmission mark." "Right, let's go to Scarlet Cloud Hall first." Under the lead of God Eagle Snake and the other 2, they arrived at a hall at the center of Crimson Cloud City, the Crimson Cloud Hall. The entire Scarlet Cloud City was surrounded by towering city walls, but the city itself wasn't that big. It was only a few 100,000 miles. "Fellow Taoist, please choose a cave abode. Of the hall of the city of the hall." B. The cave residences were all the same size, each occupying about 1,000 square kilometers. Tens of thousands of caves were scattered throughout the city like stars. Although Scarlet Cloud City has so many abodes, there are only a total of over 3,000 experts in the city, said God Eagle Snake with a smile. The rest are still empty. "I'll take this one." Dongbo Shuang glanced through the list and casually chose a cave abode to receive the token for. Regardless of one's strength, the cave residences were all the same. Then he branded it with a transmission imprint. "There are many important matters that the Scarlet Cloud Hall will transmit to you, fellow Taoist Feishue," said the female puppet. "Let's go and eat some delicious food." The stone giant, Scarlet Demon, couldn't help but urge them. "Let's go." To Fern Garden. Under the guidance of the 3, Dongbo Shuang arrived at one of the restaurants in Scarlet Cloud City that specialized in delicacies, Fu's Garden. Along the way, God Eagle Snake even explained with a smile. There are only a total of over 3,000 experts in the entire Scarlet Cloud City, and there are only 3 who are willing to sell delicacies. Fern Garden is the one with the most profound culinary skills. You should know how difficult it is to cook the flesh and blood of those innate chaotic origin life forms into delicacies. Ordinary flames can't even cook it well. Some stronger flames might even destroy the delicacies. It is extremely difficult to preserve the energy in the flesh and blood of those innate chaotic origin life forms while still cooking delicacies. I must definitely experience it. I have never eaten delicacies made by innate chaotic origin life forms before. The eyes of Dongbo Shuiying brightened. He was looking forward to it. How strong was the body of a chaotic origin life form? Everywhere was filled with the manifestation of laws. And to use it to cook delicacies? Ordinary final realm cosmos gods would find it hard to do so. Only within this Scarlet Cloud City, the weakest was usually at the late-stage God-Emperor realm. In addition to the strange laws in this sacred world, Dongbo Shuiying and others had to consume large amounts of food. Otherwise, they would starve to death. Being forced to consume large amounts of flesh and blood of chaotic origin life forms, over time, experts who specialized in culinary skills came up with many ways to cook. Fu's garden. It was a relatively quiet garden. Within the garden, a plump old man was currently sleeping soundly on a chair. There were even 2 puppets serving him by the side. Old Fu, we are here. Old Fu, hurry up and wake up. Out of the 10 times I came, you have been sleeping 8 times. Why don't you cultivate properly? The muscular stone giant Scarlet Demon shouted out after entering. At the same time, Scarlet Demon was very familiar with the arrangement. Younger brother Feishua, take a seat. Dongbo Shuiying, God Eagle Snake, Lightning Xiao, and Scarlet Demon sat down respectively. Those 2 puppets immediately ran over and offered wine. Only then did the plump old man wake up. He glanced at the 4 with drowsy eyes before lazily saying, I have long reached the grand perfection realm of God Emperor. How hard would it be to improve further? What I need now isn't bitter cultivation but enlightenment. Scarlet Demon, do you understand? Enough nonsense. Hurry up and prepare the food. Bring out all your old dishes, Scarlet Demon said loudly. The old man's gaze fell on Dongbo Shuiying. He smiled and said, Oh, a newcomer? My name is Fu. This is the first time we meet. Today's food is on me. However, Scarlet Demon, the 3 of you will have to pay the bill yourselves. Old Fu, why are you so stingy? Just 1 meal. Scarlet Demon and God Eagle Snake shouted. Lightning Xiao, on the other hand, was obviously less talkative. My name is Feishua. Shuiying added. This time, Brother Scarlet Devil and the others have saved me from outside the city. This life-saving grace. How could I let Brother Scarlet Devil and the others invite me? This time, I should be the one to invite everyone. As he spoke, Dongbo Shuiying waved his hand, and a huge object fell down. The corpse of a shadow reaper, about 300 meters long, landed in the garden. Fu's garden occupied an area of nearly 100 miles, and there was a huge open space. This corpse of the shadow reaper was thrown on the open space, and it looked very ordinary. Younger brother Feishua is quite strong. You actually got the corpse of a shadow reaper. Scarlet Demon's eyes brightened. He added, It doesn't take much for the few of us to have a meal, but we will be staying in this Scarlet Cloud City for a long time. If we continue eating for a long time, we will require a lot more meat. Younger brother Feishua, I advise you to change the rest of the food to roasted meat. Roasting meat is the simplest way to cook in Fu's garden. You can exchange for the most amount of meat, and the taste is great too. All right, I'll listen to Brother Scarlet Demon. Dongbo Shuiying nodded with a smile. At the same time, he sighed ruefully. Innate chaotic origin life forms would have huge bodies if they were in the Broken Teeth mountain range. They might even be more than 50 million kilometers long. But in the lightning world, due to the law suppression, the chaotic origin life forms were much smaller outside. In this sacred world, the suppression was even more terrifying, and the chaotic origin life forms were even smaller. Previously, when his illusory realm domain covered a region of 500,000 kilometers, he discovered a large group of shadow reapers. Furthermore, there were quite a few Grand Perfection God Emperor life forms. Like the 2 corpses he caught, they were the weakest middle-stage God Emperor life forms. Their bodies were also the smallest. The size of a chaotic origin lifeform corresponded to its strength. Like those two terrifying chaotic origin lifeforms that could injure Yuan in the past. Their bodies were about 1/10 the size of an enormous origin world. The two corpses could transform into an enormous broken teeth mountain range world. So fragrant. Dongbo Shuiying and the others were drinking and chatting when they suddenly smelled the fragrance. Clearly, that old man Fuan was currently cooking. Chapter 1341. Brother Feishua, the most important thing to survive in the sacred world is food, Eagle Snake said emotionally. Without enough food, we will starve to death. So the amount of food we have determines how long we can live. Food is lifespan. Crimson Demon nodded emotionally. Since I was born, I have never known hunger. I jumped out of the river of time and lived forever. Who would have thought that I would become one of the 3 monarchs of the myriad races in our world? An absolutely invincible existence. Because I was too lonely, tired of those days, and longed to jump out of the cage. That's why I went to this forbidden land. Who would have thought that I would taste hunger the moment I came here? I didn't even feel this when I was a baby. Now, even my lifespan depends on food. Without food, I will starve to death. As Dongbo Shuiying listened, he realized the importance of food. He wanted to meditate? Meditate for 100 billion years? In the sacred world, in order to do that, he had to prepare enough food for 100 billion years. Because of food, we have to go out and hunt. Although we are very careful, some of our companions will die, Eagle Snake said. Food is not easy, Lei Ming muttered. Shut up, Crimson Demon and Eagle Snake said at the same time. Lei Ming smiled, picked up his wine cup, and drank without saying anything. Food is not easy for most of the experts in the city. But for you, Lei Ming, you lack food? Eagle Snake sneered. Crimson Demon explained to the confused Dongbo Shuiying. Brother Feishua, you don't know this, but in the sacred world, we can't travel through the void. We can only fly. But when we go out to fight or save people, speed is very important. In terms of speed, Lei Ming ranks second in the whole Scarlet Cloud City. Even the 3 city lords are not as fast as him. With such a terrifying speed, many teams that want to leave the city will ask him for help. Once in a while he will go out and help people. With his speed, he can carry people and run for their lives. That way he can get a lot of meat. Lei Ming muttered. Of course, I should get more if I bring people to run for their lives. Run for your lives? Normal teams wouldn't even be able to invite you. You're usually only willing to help teams with 3 city lords. Scarlet Demon curled his lips. You are envious. Lei Ming smiled and drank. At the side, God Eagle Snake said to Dongbo Shuiying, Brother Feishua, in Scarlet Cloud City, the God Emperor has reached the Great Perfection realm. God Emperor's battle prowess in the later stages is only about 20%. That's because all of them come from many different worlds, and are peerless overlords of their own worlds. Although only a few of them come from each world, over the course of countless years, Scarlet Cloud City still has more than 3,000 experts. Dongbo Shuiying was speechless. But it was understandable. Just in the world of Thunder alone, there are already over 30 God Emperor Great Circle stage experts. Cloud Phoenix City Lord's strength is even much stronger than the average Great Circle stage God Emperor. Within Scarlet Cloud City, there are still a handful of people who are a bit stronger than an ordinary consummate God Emperor. And the 3 absolutely unparalleled city masters. God Eagle Snake said, we are experts that come from many worlds. But the 3 city masters are the most dazzling among us. The 3 city masters? How strong are they? Dongbo Shuiying curiously asked. The 3 city masters are the city master and the 2 vice city masters. They should be comparable in strength. God Eagle Snake sighed. The city master, Weatherleaf, is a Dao cultivator. Because Dao cultivators do not have chaotic origin bloodlines, they purely comprehend the Dao. It is very hard for them to improve their strength. But Dao cultivators usually have a profound control over their strength. Many of them could even fight against those at a higher level. Dongbo Shuiying nodded as he listened. Dao cultivators should be like the ascendants from the lightning world. They were like him who comprehended the laws and profound mysteries. The city master has not only cultivated a half-chaotic origin lifeform body, He has even raised his Tao of Sword to the half-chaotic origin level. God Eagle Snake sighed, comprehending the Tao and raising 2 Taos to the half-chaotic origin level. He is the only one in the entire sacred world, and he is in our Scarlet Cloud City. Dongbu Shuang was dumbstruck. Half-chaotic origin level. His own Tao of Void had yet to reach the half-chaotic origin level. He was still lacking a step. One had to know that those who comprehended the laws and profound mysteries and comprehended the Tao could usually fight against those at a higher level. According to what the Lightning World said, Grand Perfection Ascendant God Emperor was absolutely stronger than most Grand Perfection God Emperors. He was likely stronger than Cloud Phoenix City Master by a little. This City Master, Weather Leaf, had reached the half-chaotic origin level in 2 Taos? How strong was he? There was only one in the 5 cities of the sacred world. The other 2 Vice City Masters might be proud, but they admire the City Master and are willing to take up the position of Vice City Master. God Eagle Snake sighed. As for the other 2 Deputy City Lords, one of them is the 9-headed snake ancestor. He calls himself a shaman. Most would fuse the bloodlines of chaotic origin life forms into one's body. 9-headed snake ancestor is the most terrifying shaman in the city. He could unleash 9 different chaotic origin bloodlines at the Grand Perfection God Emperor level. When these 9 bloodlines fuse together, he could easily kill ordinary Grand Perfection God Emperor level experts with a flip of his hand. Furthermore, these 9 bloodlines have been carefully chosen by 9-headed snake ancestor. When they fused together, they could complement each other and become incredibly amazing. Dongbu Shuang nodded. By the side, Scarlet Demon said, the final Vice City Master Wuxia is rumored to be the descendant of a terrifying chaotic origin expert. The bloodline in his body is incredibly powerful. After digging out the power of his bloodline, he could devour the myriad existences. Furthermore, his body is also the strongest in our Scarlet Cloud City. He possessed the greatest power. In terms of strength, I am far inferior to him. Scarlet Demon was most confident in his body and strength. Even among the Grand Perfection God Emperor level experts, he was one of the best. But compared to Vice City Master Wuxia, he was completely suppressed. The delicacies were served. Dongbu Shuang and the other 3 chatted as they ate and drank. It was mainly God Eagle Snake and Scarlet Demon speaking. Lightning Xiao simply added a few sentences, and Dongbu Shuang was listening curiously by the side. He knew too little about the Scarlet Cloud City. The 3 city masters came from different worlds. Weather Leaf and 9-headed snake ancestor came from slightly weaker worlds. But Vice City Master Wuxia was rumored to be living in the world of his old ancestor. His old ancestor was an extremely terrifying chaotic origin expert. Vice City Master Wuxia was the most outstanding descendant of that old ancestor. Yet he was stuck at the half-chaotic origin lifeform body level. It was because he was unwilling that he chose to fight in this world. In this Scarlet Cloud City, we frequently have to hunt for chaotic origin lifeforms as food, but the outside world is too dangerous. Hence, we have to form teams every time. Scarlet Demon said. And when we form a team, the most important thing is that we have powerful techniques that others do not have. Techniques that could be of great help to the team. For instance, Lightning Xiao. His speed is even faster than the 3 city masters. In the entire Scarlet Cloud City, his speed is ranked second. Even when the 3 city masters form teams, they would occasionally invite him to join them. Scarlet Demon said, for instance, Ancestor Ying in our team previously. He specializes in domain scouting, and many have sought his help. Dongbu Shuang naturally remembered him. That black-robed man who wielded a scepter was the first to release a transparent figure from afar. That figure instantly attacked the Shadow Death God within a region of 500,000 kilometers. Furthermore, he himself had turned into a dense fog. Ancestor Ying? About 80% of the experts in the city are at the Grand Perfection realm of God Emperor. God Eagle Snake said, hence we have to be strong in a certain aspect. Only then would we be invited by various parties. Furthermore, we would get a huge share of the spoils of war. Like me, I can only be considered an ordinary member. There is no need to talk about Lightning Xiao. Scarlet Demon's body is extremely strong too. His days are much better than mine. Dongbu Shuiying could feel the pressure from these two new friends of his. He then changed the topic. If we want to hunt and kill chaotic origin life forms, we would need intelligence too, right? I'll send you a map of the distribution of chaotic origin life forms. The taciturn Lightning Xiao suddenly said. He directly transmitted the intelligence to Dongbu Shuiying. There are a total of over 3,000 experts in the Scarlet Cloud City. Every single one of them will have a copy of the distribution of chaotic origin life forms. Oh. Dongbu Shuiying diverted some of his thoughts to understand this distribution map. The distribution map even recorded in detail the techniques that each chaotic origin life form tribe specialized in, as well as their strongest combat strength. This distribution map could also be considered the distribution map of the enemies. Dongbu Shuiying and the others would have to hunt and kill them in the future. Their flesh and blood would become their food. This caused Dongbu Shuiying's expression to change slightly. Lightning Xiao, Scarlet Demon, God Eagle Snake, and the old man Fuan were all looking at Dongbu Shuiying. They wanted to see the reaction of this newcomer. Is this real? Dongbu Shuiying was startled. Of course. That is why it is also known as the Despair World, the Exiled World, and the Survival World. God Eagle Snake chuckled. Chapter 1342. Prisoner. Dongbu Shuiying muttered. He was incredibly shocked. He knew that there were many innate chaotic origin life forms in this sacred world. But who would have thought that there were high-graded chaotic origin life forms? Jumping out of the cage and becoming a chaotic origin life form. Just like a two-dimensional life form stepping into a three-dimensional life form. It was a leap in the essence of life. And there were differences in strength between the three-dimensional life forms too. Even an ant living on the ground and a dragon living in the sky would be thousands of times stronger. Similar logic. These most commonly seen innate chaotic origin life forms were incredibly numerous. They were also the weakest and weakest life forms. Shuiying and the other apex overlords who had yet to jump out of the cage could even fight against them. They even had a chance of killing them. But the half-chaotic origin life form body was the bottleneck for Dongbu Shuiying and the others. Only after breaking through would they be qualified to be called a chaotic origin expert. Chaotic origin expert. Only high-graded chaotic origin life forms were qualified to be called a chaotic origin expert. Right, prisoner? The muscular stone giant Scarlet Demon nodded with a smile. In this sacred world, those innate chaotic origin life forms are separated into tribes. Each tribe has at least a few thousand of them, and some even have a few 100,000 of them. And some of the bigger tribes have a tribe leader. That is a high-graded chaotic origin life form. If it was an ordinary cultivator, he could easily turn us into dust with a breath. But fortunately, all high-graded chaotic origin life forms are imprisoned in this sacred world. They are all shackled. Dongbu Shuiying nodded. This sacred world should be created by Yuan and other magnificent existences. The Temple of Guidance had clearly been deliberately designed to receive cultivators from many worlds. Rest assured. By the side, God Eagle Snake said. High-graded chaotic origin life forms are restricted by the shackles. Even though they could force their way out of their territories, the further they are from their territories, the stronger the punishment on the shackles would be. They would also become weaker. If they dared to come to Scarlet Cloud City, any cultivator could easily kill them. Dongbu Shuiying nodded. The intelligence was written clearly. Those imprisoned chaotic origin experts were the strongest in their territories. The further they were from their territories, the stronger the punishment they would suffer. Only one exception, Lei Ming whispered. Yes, he is an exception. God Hawk Snake, Crimson Fiend, and the old phone were all solemn. Dongbu Shuiying also understood what the other party was talking about. Because the intelligence provided by Lightning Xiao clearly stated that the chaotic origin experts imprisoned in this sacred world were all high-graded chaotic origin life forms. But just like how ordinary chaotic origin life forms would only have the strength of an early-stage God Emperor, and the stronger ones would have the strength of a grand perfection God Emperor, the strongest high-graded chaotic origin life form was located in the forbidden ground Sea of Abyss. The Sea of Abyss occupied 1/10 of this sacred world. The entire Sea of Abyss had imprisoned an expert who had reached the pinnacle of high-graded chaotic origin lifeforms. Its body was so big that it occupied half of the Sea of Abyss. If it were to walk out of the Sea of Abyss, the punishment from the chains would rapidly increase. Its strength would also be continuously weakened, and its body would also continuously shrink. But even so, once it reached Scarlet Cloud City, even if all the experts of Scarlet Cloud City joined hands to deal with it, it would be hard to say if they would be able to resist it. The Sea of Abyss Master is incredibly powerful. Old Man Fuan drank his wine flask. He shook his head. If it were to walk out of the Sea of Abyss on its own, its strength would continuously weaken. By then, we would still have the strength to fight against it. But if we dared to head to the Sea of Abyss, even if all the cultivators in the sacred world worked together, it would most likely be able to slap us to death with a single palm. Dongbo Shuang nodded. The other party's body was so big that it occupied half the Sea of Abyss. The size of a palm was likely more than 50 billion kilometers. And this was because of the suppression from the world. Even though it is dangerous, it is also a huge opportunity. God Eagle Snake said. The corpse of any high-graded chaotic origin lifeform is worth unimaginable. It is sufficient to make those bloodline cultivators and even witches go crazy over it. If we could kill the Sea of Abyss Master, the one who contributed the most would immediately be bestowed by a magnificent overlord that created this world. Dongbo Shuang had also seen this point recorded in the intelligence report. This was something that everyone in the sacred world knew. The Sea of Abyss Master represented the greatest danger, and also the greatest opportunity. Every time it died, the expert who contributed the most would be bestowed it. Those who cultivated bloodline would almost have a 100% chance of breaking through to the chaotic origin level. And those who were Dao cultivators and other existences would similarly obtain an unprecedented opportunity. But the possibility of breaking through was uncertain. Because according to the legends, the moment a Dao cultivator broke through, he would immediately become an apex existence amongst chaotic origin experts. But the difficulty of breaking through was extremely high. Prisoners. Dongbo Shuang muttered to himself. It seems that the chaotic origin experts who are high above aren't living in harmony with each other. Those high-graded chaotic origin lifeforms are imprisoned here, becoming the grindstones for us cultivators. Dongbo Shuang thought. Those prisoners were all high-graded chaotic origin lifeforms. The Sea of Abyss Master was even at the pinnacle of high-graded chaotic origin lifeforms, yet he still ended up like this. That's right. Didn't Yuan get injured before? Dongbo Shuang thought. The corpses of those two chaotic origin lifeforms that died could form the Broken Teeth Mountain range. For instance, that huge snake had a body length comparable to an origin world. Yuan, Lord Locheng and other existences nurtured them in the hopes of nurturing new chaotic origin experts. My hometown, and the Realm Heart Great Land. Yuan and Lord Locheng have never imparted any cultivation techniques that utilize chaotic origin bloodlines. It seems they don't wish for us to walk this path. Dongbo Shuang understood that in this sacred world, for instance, witchcraft would absorb chaotic origin bloodlines to become stronger. But this path would only allow one to break through to become a high-graded chaotic origin lifeform. Yuan and the others would most likely disdain such a path. Breaking through as a Dao cultivator. That should be what Yuan and the others hoped for. Dongbo Shuang chatted with these four experts. This sacred world had gathered experts from many different worlds. All of them had some intelligence regarding chaotic origin experts. For instance, Vice City Master Wuxia was the strongest descendant of a chaotic origin expert. Because too many experts had gathered here, the experts in the sacred world had sufficient intelligence regarding chaotic origin experts. Dongbo Shuang chatted with them and understood more. He understood that chaotic origin lifeforms were mainly divided into 4 levels. Low-graded chaotic origin lifeforms were the weakest. They were ants amongst chaotic origin lifeforms. High-graded chaotic origin lifeforms were considered the 2nd level. Cultivating on the path of chaotic origin bloodlines would allow one to break through to this level. This was already a qualitative transformation. One could easily kill 10 million low-graded chaotic origin lifeforms with a flip of his hand. World Realm chaotic origin lifeforms. This was the 3rd level. like Tao cultivators who controlled an origin world. This level was already very powerful. Especially Tao cultivators. They could perfectly utilize the energy of an origin world within their own origin world. They were completely unparalleled. As long as Tao cultivators broke through, like refining the origin source of an origin world, they would usually reach this level. Overlords were rumored to be the highest level. It was said that they protected many territories. Those territories that were protected by them were their territories. In the legends of the sacred world, if Tao cultivators broke through with force, they could step into this level. They had seen through the essence of the highest level of energy. Every single action of theirs would be filled with unfathomable might. I've heard that Lord Locheng broke through with force. Dongbo Shuang thought. The legend of Lord Locheng had spread even across the realm Heart Great Land. Even in the sacred world. Who would have thought that Lord Locheng is an overlord at the highest level? Dongbo Shuang was startled. In his hometown origin world, Lord Locheng was low profile and aloof. Many disciples who joined the Star City did not have the chance to receive guidance from Lord Locheng. Thinking about it now, even though Lord Locheng was most likely just an avatar in his hometown, how could such an existence easily accept disciples? It was rare for the other party to give him and Sword Master an opportunity. But Lord Locheng can't do anything about the destruction of an origin world. The strength of his avatar is similarly suppressed within the origin world. Dongbo Shuang thought. No wonder it is said that Tao cultivators who control an origin world are unparalleled within it. Dongbo Shuang guessed wrongly. How could Lord Locheng not be comparable to an ownerless origin world? It's just that his strength was too great. If he descended completely, he would simply cause the entire origin world to explode. An origin world with an owner. Under the control of its owner, its strength would be perfectly united. Only then would it not fear the overlords. Dongbo Shuang had yet to jump out of the chaotic origin level. He was merely deducing from the intelligence reports. Chapter 1343. Dongbo Shuang and the others ate all the way until the next day. Even though Scarlet Demon and the others were the first team responsible for rescuing the newcomers, there were only so many cultivators in the sacred world. Usually, it would take a long time for a newcomer to arrive. Furthermore, the entire city spanned over 50,000 kilometers. They could easily rush to the city walls even if they were scattered across the city. Within Fu's garden, Dongbo Shuang and the others stood up. They were prepared to leave. Feishue, these are the roasted meat you wanted. A total of 300 cubes. It should be enough for you to eat for 3 million years. Old Man Fuan passed a storage wristband to Dongbo Shuang. There was a large amount of roasted meat stored within. Dongbo Shuang inspected it. The amount of roasted meat was comparable to more than half the body of that Shadow Reaper. After all, many parts of the bones and scales could not be made into roasted meat. Fuan would also charge some fees. This roasted meat was the most convenient to cook. But the taste was not bad. Many thanks. Dongbo Shuang received it with a grin. It will only last for 3 million years. By then, you will still have to go out and hunt. Scarlet Demon said. You don't have any experience since this is your first time hunting. It is best to find a huge hunting team with at least 50 cultivators. Understood. Dongbo Shuang nodded. If one wanted to go out and hunt, he could simply send an application to the Scarlet Cloud Hall through the communication treasure. The Scarlet Cloud Hall would always announce the name list of the hunting team. The hunting team would have at least 30 members, and at most 100 members. The moment the team was formed, they would inform those who applied for the mission. This hunting team would usually hunt around the Scarlet Cloud City. The danger level was relatively low, and it was only for the sake of food. But even if the danger level was low, there would still be large batches of chaotic origin life forms that would ambush them. Oh right, fellow cultivators. Dongbo Shuang saw that Scarlet Demon and the others were about to leave. He added, I wish to purchase the body parts of chaotic origin life forms that contain the laws and profound mysteries of the void. I will exchange for them with twice the amount of flesh. But I will only collect the same body parts once. Also, I do not need the body parts of void lineage chaotic origin life forms. Body parts that contain the profound mysteries of the void. Yet you do not want them? This request is a little strange. Good. I do have some reserves. Crimson Devil, Lei Meng, Eagle Snake, and Phone all looked delighted. Fuan hurriedly added, I've killed many chaotic origin life forms before. I've collected all sorts of scales and fur. As a gourmet whose business was the best, his collection of scales, armors, bones, and the like were among the best in Scarlet Cloud City. We'll exchange with Brother Feishua first. You'll be the last. Scarlet Demon said. Yes, you're the last. If you're going to trade, what else are we going to trade for? God Eagle Snake and Thunder Mantis said. Fu snickered to himself, not in a hurry. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Crimson Fiend and the other two waved their hands, and a large number of scales, bones, horns, thick skin, hair, and other items were thrown out. All of them contained the profound mysteries of the void. One had to know that an innate chaotic origin lifeform's body was the manifestation of laws. Some parts manifested different rules. Just like how the eyes of that thousand-eyed creature contain the profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm, the other parts of its body were different. Similar logic. An innate chaotic origin lifeform that specialized in fire might have a body composition that exceeded 90% of the cooldown of fire-related profound mysteries. But there were still a few other laws. Even non-void lineage chaotic origin lifeforms would still have a small portion of their body containing the profound mysteries of the void. I don't want those that overlap with each other. Scarlet Demon, keep this piece of scale. Based on what? We took it out together, so why should I keep it? You took out more than me. AI. This piece of scale of yours should be the scale of a void shadow dragon, right? Brother Feishua said that we don't need any void lineage chaotic origin lifeform materials. Too much. I took the wrong one. You must be deliberately taking the wrong one. I disdain deceiving you for this bit of flesh and blood. Brother Feishua, just treat this Fong as a free gift. They were all absolute overlords in their hometown. But now, for the sake of food, they were all fighting over it. After all, scales, bones, hair and many other materials could not be used as food. Previously, they were treated as trash and placed by the side. But now they could be exchanged for twice the volume of food. Furthermore, the chaotic origin lifeforms in the sacred world came from different tribes, and each tribe had a huge population. It was easy to find similar materials. That was why Dongbua Shuang said that he did not want those that overlap with each other. He got them for the sake of comprehending and cultivating. Why would he want similar materials? Come. Dongbua Shuang chuckled as he exchanged for the chaotic origin lifeform materials that contain the profound mysteries of the void. God Eagle Snake, Lightning Shao, and Scarlet Demon had exchanged for a total of 10 cubes of barbecued meat. Each of them had obtained enough food to last them for several tens of thousands of years. It should be my turn now, right? Fuan grinned. Brother Fuan, please. Dongbua Shuang chuckled. You are really generous to give out double the amount of meat. Some stingy ones would only give out double the amount of meat. Fuan said. In the sacred world, one's flesh was calculated based on its volume. Because of the suppression from the laws of the world, the weaker ones would be suppressed even more. Even if they could change their size during battle, the moment they died, their bodies would revert back to their original size. Flesh of the same volume would contain the same amount of energy. Fuan waved his hand. At that moment, a dense amount of materials were thrown out. An expert like him would naturally not throw out the same materials after seeing the materials thrown out by Scarlet Demon and the other two. Scarlet Demon and the other two added up only exchanged for close to 10 cubes of barbecued meat. And the materials that Fuan threw out alone had exchanged for more than 190 cubes of barbecued meat for Dongbua Shuang. Younger brother Feishua, it is too much for you to exchange for double the amount of meat. That's right. You are letting old Fu earn so much. Scarlet Demon and the others could not help but say. It's nothing much. Dongbua Shuang chuckled. He waved his hand again, throwing out another Shadow Reaper corpse. This time he took out a total of 2 Shadow Reaper corpses. Garden Master Fuan, help me exchange them for barbecued meat. Ha, you still have this Shadow Reaper? Fuan laughed inwardly. He had just earned a huge sum from Dongbo Shuang. He said straightforwardly, "All right, I won't take any benefits from you for this Shadow Reaper. I'll give you 320 cubes of barbecued meat." Another batch of barbecued meat was exchanged. Dongbo Shuang was in a good mood because those materials contained profound mysteries at the chaotic origin level. Naturally, they were hard to come by. "You still aren't taking any benefits?" Humph. The materials you have taken out previously have practically exchanged for all the materials you can exchange for. Scarlet Demon's voice was firm as he snorted. "Haha, it isn't just almost. I've exchanged them all," Fu said delightedly. "If I don't give the three of you a chance to exchange first, you can't even exchange for a single set of materials. Other than the prisoners, as long as I have killed ordinary innate chaotic origin life forms before, I've personally killed them and collected many materials." Dongbo Shuang nodded. He had collected everything? Younger brother Feishua, why are you only exchanging for these? Void lineage chaotic origin life forms usually have bodies that have a cooldown of more than 9. They contain the profound mysteries of the void. Researching them will be of greater help to you. God Eagle Snake looked at Dongbo Shuang. "No rush," Dongbo Shuang said. "I'm prepared to make a public acquisition." "Public acquisition? You still have many corpses of chaotic origin life forms?" God Eagle Snake, Fuan Scarlet Demon, and Lightning Xiao were all startled. What price did he have to pay to make a public acquisition? No, I don't have many." Dongbo Shuang shook his head. "Then why are you still making a public acquisition?" "That's right. Chaotic origin life forms with grand perfection strength like God Emperor can be killed. Their bodies are bigger, and more laws are manifested on the surface of their bodies. Hence, their price is much higher too. A grand perfection god is worth more than 10,000 times more than a middle stage God Emperor chaotic origin life form like you. How are you going to exchange for it?" They all looked at Dongbo Shuang. "I have a chaotic origin life form that I brought from my hometown. I've checked, and there isn't any in the sacred world." Dongbo Shuang chuckled. Actually, he had 2 chaotic origin life form corpses that he brought from the lightning world in his storage treasure. One was obtained from the Crown Prince of Iron Dragon City Master. The other one was obtained from the Spectre Sect Master. "There isn't a chaotic origin life form in the sacred world?" At that moment, Scarlet Demon and the others exclaimed in shock. "No. That would be very precious. Because Dao cultivators would pay a lot of attention to the corpses of chaotic origin life forms when comprehending the laws and profound mysteries, because their bodies would manifest laws. A chaotic origin life form that had never appeared before was sufficient to make the apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City green with envy." Under the envious gazes of Scarlet Demon and the other 3, Dongbo Shuang used his communication treasure to send a message through the Scarlet Cloud Hall to all cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City. The message was simple. "I have a complete corpse of a flame lineage chaotic origin life form that I brought from another world. This is something that has never appeared before in the sacred world. I am willing to use this to purchase the complete corpse of a void lineage, chaotic origin life form for 10,000 years. The highest bidder will get it. The starting price is 3 different grand perfection God Emperor void lineage chaotic origin life forms." The moment Dongbo Shuang released this message, it had caused a huge uproar among the experts in Scarlet Cloud City, especially the experts who cultivated the flame lineage. Their eyes turned red. If not for the ban in the city, killing was prohibited within the city. Those who disobeyed would be surrounded and killed by all experts. If not for this ban, there would have been experts who would have killed and snatched the treasures. Naturally, Dongbo Shuang would not have publicized it. What? A corpse of a flame lineage chaotic origin life form that has never appeared before in the sacred world? The asking price is too high. The starting price is 3 different grand perfection God Emperor corpses? How ruthless. Does he really think it is so easy to get a grand perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life form? This newcomer is really ruthless. And this is still the starting price. The entire Scarlet Cloud City was in an uproar. The reason why Dongbo Shuang quoted the starting price was because it was 3 grand perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms and not higher. That was because Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms were really hard to kill. Like in the lightning world, it was impossible to kill one. Even in this sacred world where there were more experts working together, killing a Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life form was still very difficult. Furthermore, a Grand Perfection chaotic origin life form like God Emperor chaotic origin life form had a huge body. Just the flesh and blood it could be exchanged for was enough to last for close to 100 billion years. Even though the asking price is ruthless, I'm afraid the final price will not be this high. The few flame experts at the apex are all very wealthy. They felt that the asking price was too exaggerated, yet they understood that the final price would be much higher. At the same time, when various places were in an uproar, within one of the cavern dwellings in Scarlet Cloud City, there was another newcomer who came to Dongbuo not long ago. He was none other than Great Emperor North River. Purchasing Void Lineage Chaotic Origin Lifeform Corpses? The starting price is so high? Great Emperor North River similarly received the news. The muscles at the corner of his eyes twitched. Jealousy. Envy and jealousy. Injustice. He, Great Emperor North River, had always been low profile in the lightning world. His Eden treasure did not bring any chaotic origin life-form corpses over. Hence, Great Emperor North River still had to worry about food. He had already applied to join the newest hunting team, because his current food was given to him by the experts who rescued him. It could barely last him for 10,000 years. I don't even have any food, yet he easily called out a price. That has driven the Apex Flame Lineage experts in Scarlet Cloud City crazy. North River shook his head. They similarly came from the Broken Teeth Mountain Range to the Lightning World before arriving here. Why was the gap between their days so huge? Chapter 1344. Scarlet Cloud City, within the cavern dwelling of Dongbuo. God Eagle Snake, Lightning Xiao, and Scarlet Demon sent Dongbuo back to his residence before bidding farewell. Younger brother Feishue, let me remind you before you leave. Scarlet Demon suppressed his voice. The experts in this Scarlet Cloud City come from many worlds. Almost all of them are absolute experts in their own world. But their personalities are different. Some are proud and aloof, some are evil, some are tyrannical. There are more than 3,000 experts with more than 3,000 different faces. For a newcomer like you to take out a chaotic origin life form that doesn't even exist in the sacred world to compete for treasures, I'm afraid you might incur the jealousy of others. Jealousy? Dongbuo felt his heart moving. He had never thought that all 3,000 experts were good people. That was impossible. Since they could cultivate to this stage, the ratio of devils in his hometown origin world, Realm Heart Great Land, and Lightning World would not be low. As for killing others to snatch their treasures, it was even more common. The reason why Dongbuo dared to publicize it was because he knew of the prohibition within Scarlet Cloud City. It prohibited killing within the city. Those who dared to do so would be attacked by all experts in the city. Younger brother Feishue, God Eagle Snake reminded, because of the prohibition, an absolute majority of experts do not dare to have any thoughts. But there are a few dozen top-ranked experts in Scarlet Cloud City. Some of them are evil and tyrannical. Because they are strong enough, they usually do things in a tyrannical manner. You have to be careful. Unless they dare to act within the city? Dongbuo asked. They don't dare to do so. The entire Scarlet Cloud City covers a total area of over 50,000 kilometers. Furthermore, there are many protective arrays protecting the city. The moment one fights, the slightest ripple would be discovered by the arrays. Those who dared to act would be attacked by all experts in the city. They would definitely die. After all, this is a place where we cultivate. We have to ensure absolute safety. Nobody dares to challenge this point. God Eagle Snake said. But you can't possibly stay in the city forever, right? As long as they don't dare to act within the city, that's fine. Dongbuo chuckled. God Eagle Snake shook his head. Deity Eagle Snake, what are you worried about? Younger brother Feishue should be able to obtain several Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin Lifeform corpses from God Emperor during this auction. Barbecued meat alone is enough to last for hundreds of billions of years, Lei Meng said. In any case, be careful. God Eagle Snake reminded. I'll give you a detailed report on the experts in the city. As he spoke, he sent a piece of information through his communication treasure. Thanks. Dongbo Shuang was very grateful. The report was very detailed, and he immediately saw a person called North River. Great Emperor North River knew that there were a total of more than 3,000 experts in this city. If Dongbo Shuang were to come, he would not be able to hide it. Moreover, killing was forbidden in the city. Be careful. Crimson Demon also reminded. Then Crimson Devil, God Hawk Snake, and Lei Meng left. Dongbo Shuang personally walked him to the door. After the other party left, Dongbo Shuang ordered. The two of you wait here. If a guest comes, send a message to me. Yes, master. The two puppet servants respectfully answered. These puppet servants were brought along in the cavern dwelling. They were slightly weaker, but they could resist against the suppression of the world in this sacred world. They were meant to serve the cultivators. But there were only two of them. I'll refine a few more. Dongbo Shuang thought. It might be slightly troublesome for others to refine puppet servants, but it was much easier for him. He could directly create them in his mirage cosmos. He could directly turn illusory into reality. There were conditions for creating objects in the mirage cosmos. Firstly, he had to understand the most minute structure of the material being created. If he did not understand and grasp the material, he would naturally not be able to create it. Secondly, he had to consume sufficient energy. For instance, some of the more powerful weapons like the spear Dongbo Shuang bought in the lightning world were refined by a chaotic origin expert. Dongbo Shuang did not have absolute control over the materials used. It was even harder for him to see through the internal structure of the weapon after refinement. Naturally, he could not create objects. The more precious it was, the more mysterious it would be. It was hard for him to see through its essence. What he could create were some of the more ordinary items. And it was much simpler to create puppets that could survive in this sacred world. As long as they reached the most basic level of void god, it would suffice. Just the time taken to brew a cup of tea later. A total of 6 puppet servants were created. They were actually 6 female attendants. Cultivating in the cavern dwelling, Shuang naturally left the miscellaneous matters to the servants. Delightful. Dongbo Shuang sat within a garden. He was drinking wine and eating the roasted meat in big mouthfuls. The roasted meat was placed within the storage space. Time was restricted within the storage space. When the roasted meat was taken out, it looked as if it had just been cooked. By the side, 2 female attendants were pouring wine and serving him. I'm full. Dongbo Shuang waved his hand and kept the roasted meat. Following that, with a thought, 9 pieces of scales appeared in front of him. These scales were filled with law inscriptions that contained the profound mysteries of the void. Previously, he had bought a large amount of miscellaneous materials. Observing and comprehending. There are many chaotic origin life-form materials that contain the profound mysteries of the void in this sacred world. From this point, it is truly a holy land for cultivation. Dongbo Shuang sighed inwardly. It's a pity that there aren't any materials related to the mirage and illusory realm. In the entire sacred world, there were no innate chaotic origin life-forms that cultivated the mirage and illusory realm lineage. Even if other chaotic origin life-forms had body materials that contain the profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm, similarly there were none. Dongbo Shuang had previously asked Fuan when he was in Fu's garden. Profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm are hard to find even on chaotic origin life-forms. Dongbo Shuang thought. In his hometown origin world, that myriad tentacles dragon sun that was imprisoned in the 3 fire prison realms cauldron contained an extremely small portion of the profound mysteries of the Tao of mirage and illusory realm. It's just that it was too rare. Dongbo Shuang did not know. Even though the myriad tentacles dragon sun was weak, its bloodline was incredibly noble. It was the child body of the myriad tentacles dragon mother. The myriad tentacles dragon mother was one of the most terrifying innate chaotic origin life forms. Yuan and other existences had to work together before they could kill it. Yuan had even bestowed a droplet of the myriad tentacles dragon mother's heartblood. allowing Dongbu Ying's soul to undergo a transformation. Of course, Dongbu Ying did not know about this. And the other thousand-eyed existence. It was also one of the two terrifying chaotic origin life forms that transformed into the Broken Teeth mountain range. It could even injure Yuan. Clearly, chaotic origin life forms that contain profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm had extremely noble bloodlines. At least in this sacred world. There wasn't a single one. Within the sacred world, there were many clans, and there were many of them. And having a high number meant that the bloodline wasn't that noble. The higher the grade of an innate chaotic origin life form, the rarer their numbers would be. Time passed day by day. Dongbu Ying was completely immersed in cultivation within his cavern dwelling. Even though he would occasionally research on that void lineage chaotic origin life form that he brought over from the lightning world, it was hard for him to reap any benefits. And these brand new chaotic origin life form materials allowed him to gain a huge amount of comprehension every single day, allowing his improvement in the chaotic origin refinement body to be much faster than expected. Just half a month later, Dongbu Ying had a flash of inspiration. He figured out a method to maintain the late-stage God Emperor fleshy body for a short period. It seems I should be able to recover my fleshy body to the level of the late-stage God Emperor fleshy body within 100,000 years. Dongbu Ying thought optimistically. Under the laws of a different world, his strength would once again increase. It would also allow his accumulations in the Tao of Void to become more profound. Didn't God Eagle Snake, Scarlet Demon and the others ask me to be more careful? There might be experts in Scarlet Cloud City who are jealous of me? As Dongbu Ying cultivated, he sighed. But why is it that not a single person has come to seek trouble after half a month? Chapter 1345. In the Scarlet Cloud City, there were indeed experts who came to visit Dongbu Ying. Brother Feishue, I wonder if it is possible for you to let me have a look at that chaotic origin life form, since you want us to compete for the treasure? A red-haired male came to visit. Of course you can. Brother Yinsu, please have a look. Dongbu Ying flipped his hand before bringing out a storage Eden treasure. I have already released the restrictions. Brother Yinsu, you can use your consciousness to have a look. That red-haired male immediately looked carefully. He saw that flame lineage chaotic origin life form within the storage Eden treasure. This chaotic origin life form was like a majestic volcano. Its body was faintly shrouded in flames. It was incredibly powerful. This was also one of the gifts that Shadow Lord gave to Dongbu Ying. Dongbu Ying was currently feeling apprehensive. If he knew that chaotic origin life forms were so important in this sacred world, he would have asked for the corpse of a chaotic origin life form when he was at the Lightning World to Shadow Lord, Iron Dragon City Master, and Wise Wizard City Master. Naturally, he would not have thought that the second world he came to would be like this. I have suppressed quite a few experts in the Lightning World. That was how I got these rewards. That great Emperor North River has always been low profile. I believe he should not have any chaotic origin life form corpses. The latest list of applicants for the hunting team has North River's name. Dongbu Ying chuckled inwardly. It was forbidden to kill within the city. He had never thought of dealing against Great Emperor North River. Given their identities, it was natural for them to live together peacefully. But if there was a chance, not just Dongbu Ying or North River, they would not show any mercy to the other party. Good. It is indeed a flame lineage chaotic origin life form that I have never seen before. From the remnant aura after its death, it should be at the middle stage God Emperor strength? The red-haired male said. That's right. Dongbu Ying nodded. It's a pity that it is slightly weak. The red-haired male said. It is indeed slightly weak. It can't compare with the sacred world. Within the sacred world, it is quite common to see the corpse of a late-stage God Emperor chaotic origin life form. Dongbu Ying smiled. He couldn't be bothered to argue with them. His treasure was precious, and it was so precious that it couldn't be found in the sacred world. The red-haired man nodded slightly and said no more. He stood up and said, All right, Brother Feishue, I'll take my leave first. Please. Dongbu Ying stood up to send him off. Following that, more and more experts came to take a look. After all, Even though Dongbu Shuang had publicly announced this matter, if he did not see it with his own eyes, why would he go all out to prepare for it? One day, a short old man arrived at the entrance of Dongbu Shuaying's cave abode. There were 2 puppets standing guard at the entrance. Go and pass a message to your master. Tell him that I, Xie Fan, want to see him. The short old man's eyelids drooped, and there was a faint red glow in his eyes. As the guardian puppets were refined by Dongbu Shuaying, they were able to communicate directly with Dongbu Shuaying using their spirit transmissions. After which, one of the guardian puppets replied, "My master invites you, please follow me." Yes. The short old man acknowledged before walking in. Under the guidance of the guardian puppets, they soon arrived at a garden. Dongbu Shuaying had already stood up to welcome them. "Greetings, Brother Xie Fan." Dongbu Shuaying was relatively polite. No other choice. Xie Fan was a Dao cultivator who had reached the half-chaotic origin life-form body level. In terms of strength, he was likely stronger than even Cloud Phoenix City Master by a strand. In Scarlet Cloud City, he was absolutely one of the top few experts. He was even vaguely qualified to be ranked in the top 10. Xie Fan. He had 2 specialties. One was his powerful fleshy body. Disregarding other aspects of his fleshy body, just in terms of weight, he was number 1 in Scarlet Cloud City. As long as he released his aura, the weight of his body would cause gravity to collapse and time-space to distort. That would form a horrifying domain. With such a fleshy body, it was hard for others to injure him. When hunting chaotic origin life forms, having such a fleshy body would naturally increase his survivability. The other was that he was frightening in close combat. Even God Emperor, a grand perfection chaotic origin life form, could be beaten to death by him. In the lightning world, even Cloud Phoenix City Master could not do so. Xie Fan belonged to the faction of City Master, Weatherleaf in Scarlet Cloud City. After all, experts would form groups too. They had to work together to hunt down chaotic origin life forms. Some who were close to each other, were stronger, and had even experienced life and death together would gradually form a firm faction. This person, Xie Fan, might be cruel and ruthless, but he was the left and right arm of Weatherleaf. Amen. The short and small old man Xie Fan nonchalantly acknowledged. He lifted his drooping eyelids and squeezed out a rare smile. Brother Feishue, I've heard that you want to let the experts in Scarlet Cloud City compete for treasures. That's right. Dongbu Shuang chuckled. Brother Xie Fan, please have a seat. Only then did Xie Fan sit down cross-legged. He sat opposite of Dongbu Shuang. The female puppet by the side also helped pour wine for him. I think you don't have to go through so much trouble. Xie Fan drank a cup of wine before placing it down with a frown. Just give me that flame lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpse, and I'll give you 3 complete corpses of different void lineage chaotic origin lifeforms. Both of us will be happy. Dongbu Shuaying's expression changed at that moment. Directly asking for it? He was only willing to pay the base price of 3 corpses? Rest assured, I guarantee that all 3 corpses are at the Grand Perfection God Emperor realm. Xie Fan looked at Dongbu Shuaying with a smile that did not seem like a smile. I've already publicly announced that I'm going to compete for treasures. Dongbu Shuaying shook his head. If I do as you say, I won't be able to take out the flame lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpse after 10,000 years. If I go back on my words, I'm afraid the experts in the city will laugh at me. Rest assured, once you trade with me, I'll immediately announce that I'm going to host the auction. Xie Fan said, I'll host the auction and let the experts in Scarlet Cloud City compete for it. They naturally won't blame you. If I auction for treasures publicly, I can exchange for 5 or more chaotic origin lifeform corpses. Do you want to split them with me? Dongbu Shuaying coldly said. I've already said that I'll use 3 chaotic origin lifeform corpses to exchange with you. Since I'm exchanging them, then the benefits of the flame lineage chaotic origin lifeform auctions will naturally belong to me. Xie Fan said as a matter of fact. Giving his treasures to Xie Fan? Letting Xie Fan sell them publicly? Xie Fan, do you think I'm a fool? Dongbu Shuaying placed down his wine cup. His expression sunk. Ha ha. Xie Fan laughed. His laughter was cold. Being a fool will allow you to live longer. Just based on you? Dongbo Shui Ying's expression sunk. Right. Xie Fan stared at Dongbo Shuiying. A terrifying killing intent began leaking out. His body even caused the surrounding time-space to distort. Just based on me. Why? You want to act against me in the city? Dongbo Shuiying coldly said. I naturally don't dare to do so in the city. But there will be a chance in the future. Don't you think so? Hence, obediently listen to me. It's better for both of us. Xie Fan coldly laughed. Such a matter of snatching would definitely be known by the entire city even if they were to trade. But Xie Fan did not care. His personality was originally evil and tyrannical. This was something all experts in the city knew. To some experts, the devil heart was their true heart. They followed their true heart and did not even bother to conceal it. Since you don't have the guts to act in the city, then scram. Dongbo Shuiying roared. Xie Fan's expression changed slightly when he heard that. What guts? Don't talk nonsense. Dongbo Shuiying's eyes turned cold. He waved his hand, causing an unseen ripple to sweep out. The wine flask and wine cup in front of Xie Fan were directly sent flying away. They smashed into the distance and shattered. Hurry up and scram. You are ruining my wine and dirtying my wine flask and wine cup by coming here to drink. Very good, very good. Xie Fan stood up and laughed coldly. You are very gutsy. You are also very gutsy. Ever since I came to the sacred world, you are the first person who dares to threaten me. Dongbo Shuiying laughed coldly. Humph. Xie Fan sneered and turned to walk out. Dongbo Shuiying watched as Xie Fan left and a cold look flashed in his eyes. Idiot. Dongbo Shuiying would never show mercy to such devils. He would definitely eliminate them if he had the chance. God, Eagle, Snake and the rest were right. There are people who dare to threaten me in the city. Dongbo Shuiying thought to himself. Other than Xie Fan, there was also a female expert called Mo Shu, who dared to threaten him in the city. Both of them were infamous. However, both of them were angrily chased out by Dongbo Shuiying. No other experts came to threaten him. Xie Fan and Mo Shu were both terrifyingly strong. They were ranked in the top 10. Even a great perfection God Emperor would not dare to offend them. Many experts in the city were also watching. They wanted to see how this Feishue would fight against Xie Fan and Mo Shu. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, the 10,000-year time limit for the treasure auction was up. Chapter 1346. On this day, within the sacred world, within the Scarlet Cloud City, many cultivators came to the cavern dwelling of Dongbo Shuiying. Please come this way. Please. The puppet protector by the entrance of the cavern dwelling was guiding the way. There were also female puppets that were in charge of guiding the way. For the sake of this auction, Dongbo Shuiying had deliberately relied on the Mirage Cosmos to create more than 10 puppets. This brother Feishue seems to have quite a few puppets. Since he could bring the corpse of a chaotic origin life form into the sacred world, he should be very wealthy. Buying some puppets isn't worth mentioning. The cultivators discussed as they walked. Experts from many worlds gathered within the Scarlet Cloud City. Naturally, there were those who specialized in refining puppets. Just refining puppets with the strength of a void god could easily be done by a small half of the experts within the city. It's just that it was slightly more troublesome to gather the materials within the sacred world. Halt! Halt! At the entrance of the cavern dwelling, the two puppet protectors furiously roared. They stared at the short and small old man who was about to enter. Why? Feishue has publicly announced that he would let the experts of Scarlet Cloud City compete for the treasure. Why aren't you letting me in? The short and small old man Xie Fan coldly chuckled. Master has ordered that you are forbidden from entering. A puppet protector coldly roared. Xie Fan. A cold voice rumbled out from within the cavern dwelling like thunder. It roared. If you dare to take half a step into my residence, I'll directly teleport you out. Xie Fan's expression changed slightly. Within the Scarlet Cloud City, every cavern dwelling of a cultivator was a forbidden ground. Without the permission of the master, one could absolutely not barge in. It was a small matter to directly throw the person out. If the person dared to resist, he could even be killed. Because the cavern dwelling was a place for closed-door cultivation, The rules of Scarlet Cloud City were to ensure that every cultivator could cultivate peacefully without being disturbed by anyone. Very good. Xie Fan had a cold expression. He turned around and left. The other cultivators who entered the cavern dwelling could not help but discuss among themselves when they saw this. Previously he threatened us, and now he dares to pay a visit. This Xie Fan seems to not care about his reputation at all. He is Xie Fan. In terms of shamelessness, he is ranked first or second in the entire city. These cultivators were muttering to themselves. Dongbushwang was receiving many guests in the garden. The garden covered an area of 100 miles. Thousands of tables and praying mats were scattered throughout the garden. Some were by the lake, and some were halfway up the mountain. The cultivators who came to participate in the treasure auction chose their seats and sat down with their legs crossed. They sipped on the wine that Dongbushwang had prepared and waited for the treasure auction to begin. These fine wines were relatively ordinary. They were created by Dongbushwang directly from the Mirage universe. There was a large quantity of them, and they would be able to satisfy their needs. Brother Feishue, if you don't give Xie Fan any face, he will definitely hold a grudge against you. One of the cultivators conversing with Dongbushwang said. Hold a grudge? Previously, he forced me to make a deal with him, and we've already become enemies. Why would I be afraid of him? Dongbushwang shook his head in disdain. I really didn't expect that you would still want to enter my cave after falling out with me previously. What a joke. To be honest, Dongbushwang also felt that this person called Xie Fan was a little weird. Because amongst the experts, it was normal to be evil and vicious. But as a great devil, it was fine if he was ruthless and unscrupulous when doing things. But this Xie Fan was a two-faced person, and the way he did things was truly embarrassing. One must know that the other female expert who threatened Dongbushwang, Mo Shu, was too lazy to pester him after threatening him once, and would definitely not participate in the treasure auction this time around. An expert had to have the pride of an expert. But Xie Fan belonged to the type that didn't have any pride, and was rather evil. Seeing that cultivator laughed. Then you have to be careful, he isn't someone to be trifled with. I know, thank you, Brother Hidden Horizon. Dongbushwang laughed. Time passed. Guests arrived one after another. Dongbushwang simply welcomed them and occasionally chatted with them. Amen. Ying's pupils suddenly contracted as he looked at a person walking over from afar. North River? Dongbushwang was startled. Monarch Feishue. Great Emperor North River walked over with a smile. That Xie Fan has been obstructed by you outside. I thought I wouldn't be able to enter either. I did not expect that you would come. Neither did I inform the protectors. Dongbushwang said. Both of us came from the same world. It is fate that brought us together. Why must we fight to the death? Don't you agree? Great Emperor North River said. Both of us are seeking to jump out of the cage and become a chaotic origin expert. Furthermore, killing is prohibited within this sacred world. How about we temporarily put aside our grudges? Dongbushwang looked at Great Emperor North River. Great Emperor North River was wearing a green robe. His eyes were filled with sincerity. But Dongbushwang was clear. This Great Emperor North River was absolutely an ambitious and ruthless character. That time in the Broken Tooth Mountain Range, the other party suddenly turned hostile. Do you think I still dare to trust you? Dongbushwang sneered. I'm afraid the outcome of trusting you would be to be ambushed by you at some point in the future. You don't trust me that much? Great Emperor North River felt helpless. Humph. Dongbushwang sneered. It's simple if you want me to believe you. Just give me the thousand-eyed water droplet. Great Emperor North River had left the Broken Tooth Mountain Range because he was chased by him. Hence, the energy of that thousand-eyed water droplet should not be exhausted yet. That won't do. Great Emperor North River shook his head. This is the most precious treasure I have. How can I give it to you? Great Emperor North River was able to transform into the thousand-eyed water droplet left behind by one of the two terrifying chaotic origin life forms in the Broken Tooth Mountain Range. The thousand-eyed existence. Great Emperor North River understood how much stronger that thousand-eyed existence was compared to ordinary chaotic origin life forms. Its strength was comparable to yuan. And the preciousness of that thousand-eyed water droplet was likely much more valuable than the corpse of a grand perfection chaotic origin life form like God Emperor. Why would he give it to Dongbo Shuiying? No matter what, at least in this sacred world, we can put aside our grudges. Time can verify everything. Great Emperor North River said with a smile before walking to the side. He directly sat down cross-legged at a place not too far away. He then poured himself a cup of wine and drank by himself. Dongbo Shuiying looked at him, but he did not chase him away. There was no need. Let's wait and see. Dongbo Shuiying temporarily ignored him. After a moment, Dongbo Shuiying looked at the color of the sky. He looked at the experts that came from the various worlds who were casually seated around the garden. There were a total of 600 over cultivators who came today. That was roughly 20% of the experts in the entire Scarlet Cloud City. In reality, there were even fewer who were truly confident in contesting for the treasure. Fellow cultivators. Dongbo Shuiying's voice reverberated across every single part of the garden. I shall not delay any longer. Let us begin contesting for the treasure. This time, we will be contesting for this chaotic origin lifeform corpse. Saying that, he waved his hand. A corpse that was approximately 200 meters tall that looked like a flaming mountain landed by the side. At that moment, it attracted the gazes of the 600 over cultivators present. Some of their gazes were even blazing. The starting bid is 3 different God Emperor Grand Perfection Void Lineage Chaotic Origin Lifeform Corpses. Each increment is at least 10,000 cubic meters of food. Fellow cultivators can start bidding now. Dongbo Shuiying said. 3 corpses. The one who spoke was a green-robed girl. Her voice was pleasant to the ears. For corpses. A red-haired male spoke. This red-haired male's aura was vast and mighty. Even with so many experts present in the garden today, his aura remained tyrannical and powerful. Shuiying also knew that this person was the wealthiest person in this auction. He called himself Great Emperor Heaven Calamity, and in terms of combat power, he was close to the 3 city masters. He had once fought with the 3 city masters, and there wasn't much difference between them. In terms of strength, he was publicly acknowledged to be in the top 5. And in terms of the flame lineage, he was the strongest in Scarlet Cloud City. Because he was also a Dao cultivator, he was naturally determined to get the chaotic origin lifeform corpse that did not exist in the sacred world. 5 corpses. 5 corpses and 100,000 cubic meters of food. 5 corpses and 200,000 cubic meters of food. After the price reached 5 corpses, it did not increase by much. Dongbo Shuiying listened silently. 5 corpses and 1 million cubic meters of food. The one who bid was a black-robed male. He was also ranked in the top few dozen experts in Scarlet Cloud City. His name was Yang. 5 corpses and 2 million cubic meters of food. The red-haired Great Emperor Heaven Calamity coldly said. 6 corpses. The black-robed male, Yang, continued calmly. Great Emperor Heaven Calamity glanced at it before saying. 6 corpses and 1 million cubic meters of food. Yang became silent at that moment. For a moment, there were no other new bids. Is there any higher bid? Dongbo Shuiying finally spoke. He raised his voice. Chapter 1347. The arena was still quiet. If there isn't anyone of a higher tier, then this flame lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpse will belong to Great Emperor Heaven Calamity. Dongbo Shuiying swept his gaze across the surroundings. He paused for a few breaths before saying, All right, the auction has ended. This chaotic origin lifeform corpse belongs to Great Emperor Heaven Calamity. As soon as he finished speaking, that red-haired Great Emperor Heaven Calamity took a step. With a flash of red light, he landed by the side of Dongbo Shuiying. He then threw a storage treasure to Dongbo Shuiying. Following that, he waved his hand and kept the chaotic origin lifeform corpse that was over 200 meters tall. He then turned around and left. Dongbo Shuiying immediately checked on it, and a look of joy appeared on his face. Within this storage Eden treasure, there were many enormous chaotic origin lifeform corpses. All of them had a grand aura that was much stronger than the one he sold. It was precisely because the chaotic origin life forms in this sacred world came from different tribes, and each tribe had a huge population. In addition to the fact that the chaotic origin life forms he had were not found in the sacred world, that was why he could exchange for so many chaotic origin life forms. Damn it! In his cave, the short old man, Xiefan, who was sitting cross-legged with a cold expression on his face, received the news from his good friends through his communication treasure. Even though Xiefan's reputation was terrible, and he was extremely evil, Xiefan's reputation was not to be underestimated. However, the other experts in Scarlet Cloud City were not to be trifled with. They did not care about Xiefan's personality. Although they would sneer at him in their hearts, they still valued Xiefan greatly when they befriended him, because he had the strength to be able to faintly rank in the top 10 amongst the many world experts of Scarlet Cloud City. Just how strong was he? Even the city lord Weatherleaf treated him as his right-hand man. Naturally, there was a group of experts who had a good relationship with him. They passed the news of the treasure auction to Xiefan. 6 complete God Emperor corpses, and 1,000,000 cubes of food. Heaven-smiting's move is indeed very high. Xiefan sneered. That brat Feishua took advantage of him. In Xiefan's eyes, cultivators were only divided into the strong and the weak. He believed that Feishua's strength was only average, and that he was not qualified to possess such wealth. The fact that he was willing to use 3 grand perfection chaotic origin life-form corpses of God Emperor to trade with Shueying was already giving Shueying a lot of face. Furthermore, this was because of the ban imposed by Scarlet Cloud City. If it weren't for the prohibition, he would have long since killed them and taken their treasures. Let him be complacent for now. Humph. In the end, it is impossible for him to stay in the city forever, Xiefan said to himself. Big sister, the auction has ended. The price has exceeded our limit. Great Emperor Heaven Smiting won it with 6 corpses and 1,000,000 cubes of food. Come back. On the huge ice bed, a beautiful woman in a black robe was sitting cross-legged on it. She was the other one of the 2 experts who had threatened Dongbo Shueying, Mo Shu. She didn't participate in the auction herself, but she let her friends bid for it. Damn it, I can only think of a way to trade with Heaven Smiting. When he feels that he doesn't need that corpse anymore, he can sell it to me. Mo Shu opened his eyes, and there were flames burning in them. How long would it take to comprehend a complete chaotic origin life-form corpse? That was hard to say, because as long as one did not become a chaotic origin life-form, one would never be able to comprehend the laws manifested from a chaotic origin life-form corpse. This was also the reason why Dongbo Shueying did not bring out the void lineage chaotic origin life-form corpse he obtained from the Crown Prince of Iron Dragon City. Even though he had fewer and fewer corpses, Dongbo Shueying would not give them up easily. As his realm deepened, he could continue comprehending it. And within the cavern dwelling of Dongbo Shueying, after the auction ended, many cultivators began leaving. Great Emperor North River glanced at Dongbo Shueying before leaving. Nonetheless, he felt a huge pressure in his heart. This Yingshan Snow Eagle has an incredibly high talent. He has cultivated for a short period in the realm Heart Great Land. His current strength in the Tao of Void is not much different from mine. His soul technique is unparalleled across the many worlds. I have never heard of anyone who could compare with him in terms of soul technique. Great Emperor North River felt pressured facing Dongbo Shueying. More importantly, Dongbo Shueying's improvement was simply too fast. In the Broken Teeth Mountain Range, he is far weaker than me. In the Lightning World, he has forced me to flee. In this sacred world, there are many chaotic origin life forms. To him, there are many more cultivation resources. He should be able to improve further, right? If he grasped a half-chaotic origin life form body, coupled with that terrifying soul technique of his, who could be his opponent? Great Emperor North River sighed inwardly. Fortunately, it is hard for those who comprehend the Tao to grasp a half-chaotic origin life form body. It is 100 to 1,000 times harder than us who cultivate our bloodline energy. Having a chaotic origin bloodline in one's body represented that the foundation was formed. What one needed to do was to excavate. And Tao cultivators had to grasp the laws and profound mysteries to create a half-chaotic origin life form body. The difficulty was much higher. Xiefan, Becoming enemies with this Yingshan snow eagle would most likely end badly. Great Emperor North River sneered inwardly. He had long decided to avoid Dongbo Shuang as much as possible in this world. After all, he could activate the imprint on his wrist to teleport to a third world at any time. In this world, as long as I am in the city, Yingshan Snow Eagle would not dare to act. I just have to avoid him when I leave the city. As long as I become a chaotic origin life form. What does Yingshan Snow Eagle count as? Great Emperor North River threw all grudges to the back of his mind. To him, becoming a chaotic origin life form was the most important. After the auction ended, Dongbo Shuang began his low-profile cultivation days. With a total of 6 grand perfection void lineage chaotic origin life forms under God Emperor's control, Shuaying's harvest was huge. All sorts of comprehensions were accumulating. Because he had sufficient food, Dongbo Shuang patiently cultivated within his cavern dwelling. Just 60,000 years after arriving in the divine realm, he had recovered his fleshy body to the level of late-stage God Emperor. It was absolutely stable. But following that, Dongbo Shuang fell into a bottleneck. The difficulty of advancing his fleshy body from the late-stage God Emperor to the half-chaotic origin life-form body was incredibly high. Dongbo Shuang could clearly feel his comprehension accumulating. Yet he could not attain a half-chaotic origin life-form body, much less a half-chaotic origin life-form body. I can't even exert the strength of a half-chaotic origin life-form body for a short period. Dongbo Shuang understood where the problem lay. Half-chaotic origin life-form body. It represented the absolute grand perfection of a body beneath the level of chaotic origin life-form. In theory, it was impossible for one to improve further. But to break through? That was to break through with strength. That would allow one to become the supreme overlord amongst chaotic origin life forms. Countless time-space territories would become their territory. They would be protected by them. Take it slow. Dongbo Shuang was very patient. First, he carefully comprehended all the scattered materials, which took him 80 million years. Following that, he began studying those chaotic origin lifeform corpses. He thoroughly studied all 6 corpses, spending more than 3 billion years. Following that, he began analyzing them in greater detail. Grand perfection. An absolute grand perfection body beneath the level of chaotic origin life form? As Dongbo Shuang accumulated more and more insights, he began having some ideas. According to these ideas, he began attempting to cultivate Hong. Within an enormous underground palace in the cavern dwelling, Dongbo Shuang sat cross-legged. Suddenly his body transformed. Both his legs became much thicker. But following that, many of the bones in his legs began disintegrating. Not good. Hong. A thick layer of skin suddenly appeared on the skin of Dongbo Shuang. He became much more muscular. But following that, the skin and flesh on his body began disintegrating. Not good yet. Even though he failed time and time again, he still encountered problems in the path of cultivating a half-chaotic origin life-form body. But Dongbo Shuang was still filled with confidence. Because he was clear that it was impossible to cultivate a half-chaotic origin life-form body within a short period. Hence, he was prepared to spend a long time perfecting it. And now he dared to try again and again because of these chaotic origin life-form corpses. The thick insights he accumulated gave him the confidence to try. On a day on the 8 billionth year since he arrived in the sacred world, Dongbo Shuang once again attempted to change the structure of his body. This was already his 19th attempt. Because every attempt required a long period of time before he could deduce the cultivation technique. Hong. Dongbo Shuang's body abruptly became bigger. He was about 100 meters tall. His skin was faintly covered in gray light. His aura was incredibly grand. At this moment, many of the minute structures in his body were disintegrating. The degree of disintegration is still bearable. Given my body, I should be able to hold on for the time taken to brew a cup of tea before I completely disintegrate. Dongbo Shuang revealed a joyous look. Previously, he did not even dare to try with his entire body. The best he could do was to hold on for half a breath of time before his body disintegrated. That was too short. He could hold on for the time taken to brew a cup of tea. It was meaningful for him to battle. Chapter 1348. Within the cavern-dwelling garden. Hoo-hoo, the cold wind howled like blades. Amidst the dark cold wind, there were many ice crystals. The ice crystals smashed onto the roof, corridor, and rocks, shattering into pieces. Under a pavilion in the garden, Dongbo Shuang was seated cross-legged in a white robe. A flask of wine was kept warm, and there were all sorts of rare fruits around. Holding onto a sparkling wine cup, tasting the taste of the fruit wine, Dongbo Shuang softly muttered, "It has been 10 billion years since I came to this sacred world. I don't have much food left. It is time for me to join the hunting team and hunt for more chaotic origin life forms." During the previous auction, because he had a total of 1,000,000 cubic meters of food, he could stay in the city peacefully for 10 billion years. Even though the value of these grand perfection chaotic origin lifeform corpses of God Emperor was high, and he had even gotten a void lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpse from the lightning world, Dongbo Shuang did not plan on selling it temporarily, because he still had to continue comprehending the laws and profound mysteries of these void lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpses. Ever since I broke through previously, my fleshy body could maintain at the half-chaotic origin lifeform body level for the time taken to brew a cup of tea. And today, it has been more than 1,000,000,000 years. My improvement is minuscule. Dongbo Shuang shook his head inwardly. The previous breakthrough was a moment of inspiration after accumulating a vast amount of energy. Following that, he would continue perfecting this body cultivation technique, allowing him to maintain it for a longer period. When his body could completely stabilize and no longer break apart, that would be the moment he achieved a half-chaotic origin lifeform body. That represented reaching the pinnacle below the chaotic origin lifeform level. Want to improve further? Firstly, I have to spend a sufficient amount of time to perfect it. In order to cultivate for a long period in this sacred world, I have to prepare sufficient food. Secondly, I have to collect more void lineage grand perfection chaotic origin lifeform corpses of God Emperor. I might even get a high-graded void lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpse. According to the intelligence, there are a total of 3 void lineage chaotic origin prisoners. Dongbo Shuang thought. Within the sacred world, there were a total of 35 void lineage chaotic origin tribes. But only the 3 strongest tribes of the void lineage had chaotic origin prisoners. Chaotic origin prisoners might be high-graded chaotic origin lifeforms. With their true strength, they would be able to kill Dongbo Shuang and the others with a flip of their hands. However, they were still imprisoned, and the further they were from their lair, the greater the punishment they would receive, and the weaker their strength would be. The entire Saints world, of all the chaotic origin prisoners, the most terrifying Sea of Abyss Master, was so strong that it brought despair to others. But other than the Sea of Abyss Master, it was still possible to kill the other chaotic origin prisoners. A dragon trapped in the shallows would be toyed with by prawns. A tiger that fell to the plains would be bullied by dogs. These chaotic origin prisoners were heavily shackled in the sacred world. Naturally, it was possible for them to die. This was the message left behind by the great overlord. As long as they succeeded in killing the Sea of Abyss Master, the cultivator who contributed the most would obtain a shocking reward. The most terrifying overlord existence amongst the chaotic origin experts is at least looking forward to us killing these chaotic origin prisoners. Dongbo Shuang naturally had such expectations too. The appearance of laws from the corpse of a high-graded chaotic origin lifeform would likely be much stronger than that of an ordinary chaotic origin lifeform. Thirdly, this time when I go out to hunt, I can temper myself through battles. It is also a way to test my Tao of Void. Dongbo Shuang thought. Through battles, it would be easier for him to discover his flaws and perfect them. Food, corpses required for cultivation. Tempering himself through battles, Dongbo Shuang naturally had to go out. The magnificent overlord created the sacred world, and left behind such a vile living environment. Naturally, he felt that tempering himself through life and death would be beneficial to the chaotic origin level. Hunting team. Dongbo Shuang immediately investigated through his communication treasure. The newest hunting team was established by Taoist Hidden Horizon. Its final goal was to kill a grand perfection chaotic origin lifeform, Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, at the God Emperor realm. Currently, there were already 33 cultivators who applied. Mount Primal Chaos Serpent? Dongbuo slightly nodded. This was also one of the more noble races amongst the chaotic origin life forms in the sacred world. According to the rules, the hunting team would proceed forward. After killing a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, they would return. During the journey, they would naturally meet other chaotic origin life forms. They would also obtain food from battles. After returning, the food would be distributed according to the contribution of the members. The Scarlet Cloud Hall Spirit would easily check through all the battles during the entire journey and distribute the food fairly. As for the final target of the hunting team, the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, the creator of the hunting team would be qualified to choose. Naturally, the creator would have to compensate the other members during the distribution of food. Brother Hidden Horizon? Dongbuo revealed a grin. He had even chatted with this Taoist Hidden Horizon before during the auction. Taoist Hidden Horizon was qualified to be ranked in the top few dozens within Scarlet Cloud City. Apply. Dongbuo did not hesitate. At that moment, there was one more member added to the hunting team, turning it into 34. This information was transmitted to all cultivators within Scarlet Cloud City at the same time. Xiafan was currently meditating within the underground palace of his cavern dwelling. He sat cross-legged with his eyelids drooping. He did not conceal his aura at all, causing the surrounding time-space to distort and collapse. He, Xiafan, was ranked first amongst all cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City in terms of fleshy body weight. His body was also unfathomably strong. Even Weather Leaf relied heavily on him. In fact, at his level, even the 3 city lords were only a few % stronger than him. Even in a life and death battle, the 3 city masters could only hold a slight advantage against Xiafan. They could not achieve overwhelming superiority. After all, the closer one was to the limit, the smaller the gap in strength. With such strength, even if Xiafan had a wicked personality, many cultivators were not willing to offend him. Xiafan was not a fool either. He would still give face to those who were strong and could win his attention. Only ordinary Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms were not worthy of his attention. Because he could even kill a Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life form in a one-on-one battle. Chaotic origin life forms were much stronger in survivability. It was possible for him to kill one in a one-on-one. 80% of the ordinary Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms were at the moment. If he wanted to kill one in a one-on-one battle, it would be much easier. Naturally, he did not care if he could kill them easily. Hence, he went to Dongbuo Ying's residence to bully Dongbuo. Who would have thought that Dongbuo did not care about his threat at all? Big brother Xiafan. Suddenly, there was a transmission. What's the matter? Xiafan opened his eyes. He felt slightly unhappy. He did not like being disturbed during cultivation. He had even blocked most of the messages sent by the Scarlet Cloud Hall. After all, there were too many news about the batches of hunting teams. If there were too many news, he would not be able to cultivate peacefully. You asked me to pay attention to that Feishua's news. That Feishua has applied to join the newest hunting team. He has joined? Xiafan immediately checked. A large amount of information that was previously blocked appeared. He quickly received the newest piece of news. It was the news of the hunting team established by Taoist Hidden Horizon. Right now there were 34 cultivators, and the newest one was Monarch Feishua. Humph, you have finally joined the hunting team. I thought that you would never leave this place. Xiafan sneered. Scarlet Cloud City was empty. Chapter 1349. Xiafan's eyelids drooped. He sat cross-legged in the underground palace of his cavern dwelling. He waited silently. Ever since he applied to join the hunting team, he had been waiting for Dongbuo to retire from the team. He actually didn't retire? Since he applied to join, he should be waiting for orders. He should be the first to know of the news of me joining. Yet he didn't retire. Unless he dares to join? Xiafan revealed a weird look. Xiafan directly transmitted to Dongbuo through his communication treasure. Feishua brat, I will be joining this hunting team too. Do you dare to join my hunting team? Xiafan, you have been paying attention to my news, right? The moment I joined, you immediately joined? I, Feishue, am truly overwhelmed by your favor. Dongbo Shuiying immediately replied. Xiafan's expression sunk. He had indeed arranged for his subordinates to pay attention to the news of this monarch Feishue. With his strength, there were naturally some Grand Perfection God Emperor experts who took the initiative to join him. Because it wasn't easy for ordinary Grand Perfection God Emperors to hunt chaotic origin life forms in the sacred world for food. Hence, joining Xiafan would make their lives much better. In the entire Scarlet Cloud City, almost all the top few dozen cultivators had a group of cultivators joining them. And the top few dozen cultivators were roughly at the standard of Grand Perfection God Emperor Dao cultivators. And there were a total of over 3,000 cultivators in the city. There were many who were willing to join them. In reality, including Daoist Hidden Horizon, Great Emperor Heaven Calamity, Xiafan, Mo Shu and others, even if there were cultivators joining them, they would not easily take them in. Because the moment they did, they would have to be protected and even provided with food. Even though it would increase the overall strength of the team, it was similarly a burden. Hence, they had to choose those who were helpful to their team. For instance, those who specialized in domains, those who specialized in scouting, those who specialized in speed. They had to choose carefully. Haha, you are daring. I do admire you now. Xiafan transmitted with a sneer. In the future, I will make you admire me. Dongbo Shuiying immediately cut off the transmission. Xiafan's expression became even gloomier. He quickly sent a message to some of his subordinates. All of you join the latest hunting team. Since those Great Circle Stage God Emperor experts had chosen to side with Xiafan, they would usually have to listen to his orders. Xiafan had a total of 25 subordinates, and this time, he had only deployed 15 of them. Yes. Big brother Xiafan, there's a guy called Feishue in our team. Are we going to deal with him? He's courting death. I'm here. I've applied. One by one they applied. There were originally 36 people on the list, but it suddenly increased to 51. They had satisfied the minimum number of members set by the hunting team. So fast. Dongbo Shuiying was surprised. The name list of the hunting team had increased to the 51st place. According to the information Brother Lei Meng gave me, the latest batch of hunters are all related to that Xiafan. Imperial Monarch Feishue, please gather at Scarlet Cloud Hall. Scarlet Cloud Hall's artifact spirit sent a message. Once there were enough people, they could set off. This Xiafan is still somewhat useful. At the very least, he managed to shorten the time I have to wait. Shuiying laughed as he stood up and walked out of the pavilion. The gale carried the ice crystals along with it as it whistled around chaotically. However, when they were 3 inches away from Shuiying's body, they turned into fine powder. Scarlet Cloud City was merely a few tens of thousands of miles away. With Dongbo Shuiying's speed, even if it was just a simple walk, he would still be able to reach Scarlet Cloud Hall in an instant. Scarlet Cloud Hall's hall. At this moment, there were already quite a few people gathered here, and there were even more cultivators arriving. Dongbo Shuiying walked into the hall, and immediately saw a black-haired male Daoist Hidden Horizon, who was being escorted by a large group of people. Daoist Hidden Horizon's temperament was gentle like water. Compared to that Xiafan, Daoist Hidden Horizon's reputation was much better. Brother Feishue. Daoist Hidden Horizon immediately looked over and greeted. Brother Hidden Horizon. Dongbo Shuiying walked over and greeted with a smile. Xiafan and some of his subordinates have also joined the hunting team this time around. Are you sure you want to go? Daoist Hidden Horizon asked. This Xiafan is someone who will definitely seek revenge for the smallest grievance. He has his eyes on you. And I believe that no matter which hunting team you join, he will definitely follow you. It is too dangerous for you to go out and roam the world with him. I advise you to rely on Nine-Headed Snake Ancestor, or His Highness Wuxia. As for Weatherleaf, Xiafan was originally Weatherleaf's right-hand man. The only ones who can definitely protect you are the other 2 Vice City Lords. Vice City Lords? It isn't easy to get the Vice City Lords to accept me, right? Dongbo Shuiying smiled. You have to have sufficiently powerful methods. Daoist Hidden Horizon said. The three city lords all had extremely powerful methods. It was rare for them to leave the city, but the moment they did, the rewards they reaped would be astonishing, because their team was very strong. Not only were they strong, the companions they recruited were also very strong. They were either experts who were ranked in the top 10, or experts who had unparalleled methods in Scarlet Cloud City. When the entire team worked together, it was naturally terrifying. If Dongbo Shuang were to join such a team, Xiefan would naturally not be able to do anything to him. Thank you, Brother Hidden Horizon. Dongbo Shuang said. I'm impressed. After we leave the city, stay closer to my men. Daoist Hidden Horizon directly said when he saw that. These are my companions. You should properly get closer to them. Thus, Dongbo Shuang got to know the other cultivators. Since Daoist Hidden Horizon was ranked in the top 10 in Scarlet Cloud City, he naturally had a team under him. Including Daoist Hidden Horizon, his team had a total of 22 people. Actually, to recruit a fixed team, one had to consider the cooperation of the experts in the team, as well as the large amount of food needed to sustain so many experts. According to the long years of experience in Scarlet Cloud City, a fixed team would usually be maintained at around 20 cultivators. Usually, there wouldn't be more than 30. This time, the other 35 people in the team were all present. Only then did Xiefan and his 16 people arrive together. The short old man Xiefan's eyelids drooped. His sinister eyes swept across the hall. When he saw Dongbo Shuang, Xiefan's smile became even more terrifying. Face you a brat. Xiefan looked at Dongbo Shuang. All right, everyone is here. Daoist Hidden Horizon said. And Xiefan, our final target this time is the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. The return journey isn't too short. We still have to work together. If any of our companions were to perish, that would be a humiliation to us. Xiefan laughed. Don't worry, I will look at the big picture. Remember the old rules of our Scarlet Cloud City. Killing each other is forbidden within the hunting team. Daoist Hidden Horizon reminded. The hunting team would be leaving Scarlet Cloud City. The outside of the city was filled with danger. If they were to kill each other, it would be dangerous outside. I understand. We will definitely not kill each other. Xiefan replied. Amen. Daoist Hidden Horizon nodded slightly. He could only do this. According to the long years of experience of the cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City, experts would naturally have some grudges, even though it was forbidden for them to kill each other in the same hunting team. But when facing against a large group of chaotic origin lifeforms, especially when they were in some dangerous predicament, as long as they did not help their companions during crucial moments, their companions might die. Xiefan and the others did not dare to kill directly, but there were a total of 16 of them. As long as they watched by the side, they could easily create an extremely vile environment for Dongbo Shuang, borrowing the hands of the chaotic origin lifeforms to kill Dongbo Shuang. Dongbo Shuang watched silently by the side. Scheming against me? This team. It was split into 3 parties. One party was led by Daoist Hidden Horizon and 22 experts. Daoist Hidden Horizon was relatively friendly to him, and was willing to help him. The other party was led by Xiefan and the other 15 cultivators. They might even deliberately create a desperate situation for Dongbo Shuang during crucial moments. The final party was led by 13 other cultivators including himself. They were all idle cultivators. Some of the idle cultivators were proud and aloof. They disdained from joining any party. And more were chosen carefully by the apex experts. They could not be chosen at all. This team actually has Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan. We should be more relaxed now. That's right. With the 2 of them around, the team will be much stronger. Xiefan is here? Is it because of that Feishuo? Who cares about him? What does Feishuo's life or death have to do with us? Some of the idle cultivators were transmitting their voices to discuss. With the number of apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City, it was rare to have 2 experts ranked in the top few in the same hunting team. Under normal circumstances, there would only be 1 top-notch expert in a hunting team. Set off. Being the founder of the team, Daoist Hidden Horizon immediately gave the order. So, including Dongbo Shuang, A total of 51 figures turned into afterimages. They rapidly flew past the city walls and out of the city. Chapter 1350. What is this energy? Dongbo Shuiying sensed his surroundings. This hunting team of 51 cultivators was flying at a low altitude. Their surroundings were filled with unseen energy. One was controlling time-space, and the other was more peculiar. It seemed to isolate the outside world from the outside world. It made it hard for the outside world to discover this team of theirs. Brother Hidden Horizon, I have activated my domain. MN. Taoist Hidden Horizon presided over the situation. He turned to the other two cultivators, a gray-robed man and a cold golden-armored male. Barbarian insect, the two of you should act too. The gray-robed man nodded slightly. Waving his sleeves, many small insects flew out from the team in all directions. As for the cold, golden-armored man, the golden armor on the surface of his body suddenly disintegrated into densely packed mechanical creatures that quickly flew in all directions. Dongbo Shuiying watched by the side. He nodded inwardly. This is indeed the team of Taoist Hidden Horizon. Regardless of whether they specialize in domains or in long-distance scouting, they are quite skilled. Those insects and mechanical life forms could scout the team from afar. The team flew stealthily. Dongbo Shuiying and the others did not take the initiative to unleash their energy. Instead, it was completely controlled by that gray-robed man, barbarian insect. As they flew, Dongbo Shuiying and his team had long avoided the chaotic origin life forms when they encountered them. The team would occasionally fly at high speed, slow down at times, and detour around the chaotic origin life forms. During the first hour, they did not meet any danger. Dongbo Shuiying felt as if he was out on a leisurely trip. That time when I first arrived in this sacred world, I was teleported to a place not far away from Scarlet Cloud City. I executed my void techniques to fly carefully and stealthily, yet I was soon ambushed. That time in the guiding hall, I've also seen the map. The chaotic origin life forms on the map are densely distributed across the entire place, yet we have yet to meet a single one after such a long time. Taoist Hidden Horizon has indeed chosen his subordinates carefully. There were specializations in every industry. Experts that came from many worlds had their own specialties. For instance, the subordinates of Taoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan were at least at the grand perfection strength of God Emperor. After all, 80% of God Emperor's full-fledged battle prowess were present in Scarlet Cloud City. Those who were able to reach the peak of God Emperor's battle prowess had all reached an unimaginable level in their respective paths. In some aspects, they were even more outstanding than the three city lords. Big Brother Xiefan, this hunting team is established by Taoist Hidden Horizon. His subordinates and us are here. Ordinary dangers are not worth mentioning to us at all. If we want to scheme against that Feishue, it will be quite troublesome. Don't worry, Hidden Horizon's goal this time is the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. It's an extremely dangerous place, so he limited the number of people in the team to at least 50, because if it's too little he won't be confident. Xiefan was relaxed and confident. When the true danger arrives, we just have to give them a slight push. Without the help of our comrades, it is impossible for God Emperor to survive against the encirclement of chaotic origin life forms with his grand perfection strength. Right, there are many opportunities along the way. Especially when hunting the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent itself is a huge danger. This Feishue is fortunate to survive through one or two dangers, but it's impossible for him to survive every single one. He is dead for sure. He even dares to join this team that is purposely hunting the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. If I were him, I would be careful enough and join those teams that are hunting outside the city. Xiefan and the group of cultivators were discussing. According to Xiefan's plan, obtaining food was secondary. The most important thing was to borrow the hands of the chaotic origin life forms to kill Dongbo Shuiying. As long as they succeeded, Xiefan would be able to vent his anger. On the other hand, they knew that Dongbo Shuiying had at least 6 corpses of God Emperor Grand Perfection chaotic origin life forms. The value of those corpses was incredibly high. He is dead for sure. This Feishue is practically dead this time. Some of the other loose cultivators in the team sighed inwardly. Since he dares to offend Xiefan, he is seeking death. But the moment he dies, by then, the treasures he left behind would be considered as the spoils of war for the entire team. I've heard that there are at least 6 corpses of God Emperor Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin life forms. By then, we should be able to get quite a bit too. These loose cultivators were looking forward to it too. The 6 corpses added together was equivalent to food that could support a cultivator for several 100 billion years. Even if the entire team were to split the spoils, everyone would still reap a huge harvest. These loose cultivators did not have a good life. They did not have any friendship with Dongbo Shuang. Hence, they would naturally watch coldly from the sidelines. They were happy to see Dongbo Shuang fall, and the treasures would be split among them. Fei Xue dared to do this. He should have something to rely on. The only person in the team who could match Xiefan in status, Daoist Hidden Horizon, glanced at Dongbo Shuang. Reaching the strength of Daoist Hidden Horizon, his vision was naturally different. He was more than happy to give some help. If Dongbo Shuang really had some powerful techniques to rely on, this bit of help would be worth it. Daoist Hidden Horizon's personality naturally made him a good person. Hidden Horizon, be careful. A group of ant dragons have sensed our team, and are currently charging over. The gray-robed male transmitted. Ant dragons? How many are there? Daoist Hidden Horizon asked. There are a total of 86 that are charging over. And there are even more ant dragons rushing over from afar. The gray-robed male transmitted. Chengyu. Daoist Hidden Horizon ordered. Bring everyone along with us. Yes. The fastest person in Daoist Hidden Horizon's team was called Chengyu. He was a gray-skinned, blue-horned male. He immediately released his energy. One could see a gray energy erupting from his surroundings, enveloping the entire team of 51 people. Following that, this gray energy enveloped the team. Their speed abruptly increased by more than 3 times. Dongbo Shuang could feel the scenery around the team flickering continuously. The team's speed was rapidly increasing. He could not help but feel startled. Fellow cultivators, we have been discovered by the nearest chaotic origin life form. We have to advance with our fastest speed. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. We have been discovered. We have to throw them off with our fastest speed. Which chaotic origin life form discovered us? Many cultivators did not panic. They had lived in Scarlet Cloud City for a long time, and had come out to hunt many times. They were already used to encountering danger. Even if they died in battle, it merely represented that they had failed in their pursuit of the chaotic origin path. That time when they chose to leave their hometown for this world of despair, exiled world, or survival world, they were naturally mentally prepared. Either they succeeded, or he would eventually fall on this road. The ant dragons are obstructing us. Big Brother Hidden Horizon, should we charge? Or should we detour around them? Charge. Daoist Hidden Horizon directly ordered. The entire ant dragon tribe is huge. Now that they have discovered us, it would be more troublesome if we detour around them. He made his decision according to his subordinates. Very soon, Dongbo Shuang and the rest of the team saw many chaotic origin life forms appearing ahead of them. These experts were called ant dragons by the cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City. They looked like ants, yet they had a long and sharp tail. Their tail was the most terrifying part of their body. These ant dragons relied on numbers to win. According to the intelligence reports, there were at least 100,000 ant dragons living in this vast region. There was even a high-graded chaotic origin life form ant dragon that was imprisoned here. Because they were spread across a vast region, Dongbo Shuang and the others were temporarily facing just a few dozen of them. Remember, don't seek to kill them. Just escape as fast as possible. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted an order. A large group of ant dragons. The smaller ones were about 100 meters tall, and their tails were 300 meters long. The biggest one was 1,000 meters tall. It was like a small mountain. All of them were madly charging towards Dongbo Shuang and the others. In this sacred world, even though the cultivators hunted chaotic origin life forms, the chaotic origin life forms were similarly merciless towards the cultivators. The ant dragons immediately clashed with this hunting team. All sorts of techniques were unleashed. For instance, the team under Taoist Hidden Horizon and the team under Xiefan had great teamwork. Taoist Hidden Horizon was still considered kind. He used some domain techniques to protect the loose cultivators and Dongbo Shuiying. Meddlesome. Xiefan glanced at Taoist Hidden Horizon when he saw that. He thought, "You might be able to help him temporarily, but I don't believe you can always help him during the entire journey." Today's first night. Recently, he felt ashamed of himself. Tomorrow, he would be more ruthless to himself. Fourth night. Star. Chapter 1351. The cultivators had an overwhelming advantage. In terms of individual strength, other than the two late-stage God Emperor loose cultivators, the weakest was at the Grand Perfection God Emperor strength. And that group of chaotic origin life form, ant dragons were comparatively weaker. Even though they had strong survival capabilities, quite a few of them were at the middle stage God Emperor strength. Some were at the late stage God Emperor strength, and some were at the Grand Perfection God Emperor strength. Furthermore, the cultivators specialized in different techniques. They could coordinate perfectly with each other. With appropriate coordination, they would be able to unleash a powerful combat strength. Just like in the past when they rescued Dongbo Shuiying, a small team of 8 could easily suppress close to 100 Shadow Reapers. One could see how frightening a group of Grand Perfection God Emperor cultivators, who could coordinate perfectly with each other were. At this moment, Taoist Hidden Horizon had an elite team under him. Xiefan similarly led a group of elites who could coordinate well with each other. The other loose cultivators were mostly at the Grand Perfection God Emperor strength. As for the ant dragons, all of them had similar techniques. It was hard for them to complement each other, especially when the cultivators only wished to leave quickly. They were not interested in fighting. The moment they charged, they broke apart. The ant dragons were sent flying in all directions. They could not defend against them at all. Die. Xiefan's aura spread out like a wave. The surrounding time-space was distorting. The two ant dragons that were rushing towards him were even affected by his domain. They could not help but fly towards him. Ho! One of the Grand Perfection God Emperor ant dragons roared. It could still struggle and resist. But the other late-stage God Emperor ant dragon was instantly closed in by Xiefan. He punched on the chest of that ant dragon, causing its huge body to tremble. Following that, its soul and aura were extinguished. A single punch and he killed a late-stage God Emperor ant dragon? The situation was not too dangerous. Dongbo Shuiying could still observe his surroundings. Seeing the power of Xiefan's punch, his eyes dilated. Even Cloud Phoenix City Master could not do this. He killed it with a single punch? He is indeed a Dao cultivator with a half-chaotic origin life-form body. Furthermore, he has the heaviest body in the entire Scarlet Cloud City. In terms of strength, he might be comparable to Cloud Phoenix City Master, but in terms of profundity, he has far surpassed the latter. With a single punch, the ant dragon was not injured at all, yet it had died. Dongbo Shuiying felt apprehensive inwardly. He dared to act so recklessly in Scarlet Cloud. South. With a flip of his hand, Xiefan kept the ant dragon's corpse and continued to charge forward with the team. The team of cultivators had practically charged out of the obstruction of these ant dragons within 2 breaths of time. A total of 3 ant dragons had died. 2 with the combat strength of a middle-stage God Emperor, and 1 with the combat strength of a late-stage God Emperor. Stage of the Demon Cultivator was Stage of God Emperor. Late of God of Stage. Emperor Stage of Emperor Emperor. After mission he killed Stage the Perfection he got Emperor Dragon. Emperor Stage. Formidable. Taoist Hidden Horizon glanced at Xiefan. Each had their own specialties. In terms of close combat, he Taoist Hidden Horizon was far inferior to Xiefan. He was only slightly better than most Grand Perfection God Emperor experts. Taoist Hidden Horizon was most proficient in domains. His domain technique also allowed the entire team to perform extremely well. With Xiefan around, our chances of killing the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent will be much higher. Taoist Hidden Horizon thought. They flew at high speed. With the help of the cultivator Chengyu, The team's flying speed far surpassed those dragon ants. We escaped. We escaped the encirclement. There's no danger now. The gray-robed man and the golden-armored man, who were responsible for scouting the surroundings, were sure that the team had escaped from the encirclement. If the battle had dragged on, a large number of other dragon ants would have quickly surrounded them. Once they were completely entangled, they would be dead meat. When hunting outside the city, the most fundamental point was that one must not be obsessed with fighting, because there were too many chaotic origin life forms. The longer they dragged on, the more chaotic origin life forms would come. 100, 200, 500, 1,000. If they dragged on for a day or two, it was normal for several tens of thousands of chaotic origin life forms to surround them. By then, no matter how strong the cultivator was, he would definitely die under the attacks of the chaotic origin life forms. Continue advancing. Daoist Hidden Horizon ordered. The team's speed abruptly decreased. The time-space domain once again enveloped the team. There was also a mysterious domain that enveloped the team, causing the team to seemingly disappear. This was the best way to advance. Only after 4 hours or so did they once again discovered. They did not seem to be obsessed with fighting. They continued advancing. This team is very strong. We did not meet any danger along the way. I came out to fight, firstly for food, and secondly to temper myself. But this journey has been very relaxing. Dongbo Shuang thought. That's right. This hunting team included the core members of Daoist Hidden Horizons team and Xiefan's team. They were naturally strong. Be careful. Daoist Hidden Horizons' voice spread across the team. A large group of poison demon dragons have discovered us. There are more than 300 of them currently rushing over. At that moment, a dusky energy enveloped the team. The team's speed abruptly increased. They did not care about being exposed. They were using their fastest speed to escape. More than 300 poison demon dragons? Many cultivators in the team were startled. Poison demon dragon was the name they gave to a chaotic origin life form. Chaotic origin life forms specialized in different techniques, and the degree of threat they posed to the cultivators was different. And the poison demon dragon was one of the life forms that posed a higher degree of threat. More importantly, they had encountered so many of them this time. If it were an ordinary hunting team, some of their members might die if they encountered more than 300 poison demon dragons. Fortunately, this team was strong enough. They are here. Prepare for battle. Fellow cultivators, you must work together as one. Daoist Hidden Horizons solemnly transmitted. Hong, 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 hong. A group of extremely fast figures appeared on the left. The poison demon dragon was entirely gray. It looked like a crawling dragon. Its entire body was filled with sharp spikes. There were even many spikes on its back that looked like a huge fan. Its tail was very long, and it was filled with spikes too. Sweeping across it, Dongbo Shuang could ascertain that there were a total of 1.8 million spikes on the body of the poison demon dragon. And all of these spikes were filled with lethal poison. It was a poison that could cause the expressions of most grand perfection God Emperor cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City to change. Because the spikes were filled with lethal poison, the threat posed by the poison demon dragon was sufficiently high. Kill. The eyes of the poison demon dragon that was charging at the front were cold. They were similarly intelligent, and did not show any mercy to the cultivators. Kill. Suddenly, black and white ribbons appeared on the surface of Daoist Hidden Horizons' body. The black and white ribbons flew out in all directions, rapidly entangling the poison demon dragons. Those poison demon dragons that were entangled by the ribbons had their flying speed greatly reduced. Daoist Hidden Horizons specializes in domain techniques, but he relies on his bloodline energy instead. Dongbo Shuang understood from the intelligence that the black and white ribbons could maintain their strongest power when binding 9 enemies. When the number of enemies exceeded 9, the power of the black and white ribbons would also decrease. Many black and white ribbons were scattered around the team. Around Dongbo Shuang, there was a black and white ribbons floating as well. However, it did not bind the enemies. Only during crucial moments would it help to bind the enemies. Because if too many enemies were bound at the same time, the power of the binding would decrease greatly. Face you, brat, we are here to save you. Xie Fan laughed. He led the 15 experts under him and charged towards Dongbo Shuiying's direction. Because they were all in the team, in the blink of an eye, Xie Fan and the other 15 experts had surrounded Dongbo Shuiying. With the 17 of them gathered together, which was a third of the team, they naturally attracted the attacks of over 100 poison demon dragons. Bang bang bang. Hong. In Xie Fan's team, some utilized their domains, some transformed into countless phantoms, some emitted sound waves, some fought head-on, some attacked from afar. They perfectly coordinated with each other. Because they were strong enough, coupled with the help of their comrades, this team of 16 was able to perfectly defend against the encirclement of the large group of poison demon dragons. They had too much experience. As for Dongbo Shuiying, although he was also in the team, none of the 16 experts helped Dongbo Shuiying. Dongbo Shuiying also had 7 poison demon dragons attacking him at the same time. It was very normal for 7 poison demon dragons to attack him at the same time. Most cultivators would encounter such a situation. However, the other cultivators were helping each other, which greatly reduced the pressure on them. However, Dongbo Shuiying did not help at all. Perhaps, this large group of poison demon dragons might be able to kill him. Xie Fan sneered inwardly. With a casual punch, he killed a late-stage God Emperor poison demon dragon. With a single palm strike, he sent a full-circle God Emperor poison demon dragon flying. In the entire battlefield, only Xie Fan had such tyrannical might. Chapter 1352. On the battlefield, Xie Fan had the highest efficiency in killing chaotic origin life forms. This infuriated some of the poison demon dragons. Pew pew pew. More than 10 perfect class God Emperor poison demon dragons began attacking Xie Fan from all sides. Occasionally, the poisonous spikes on their bodies would fly out and stab towards Xie Fan. Xie Fan didn't even bother to dodge. His extremely heavy body created a domain that greatly reduced the speed of those poisonous thorns. When they pierced Xie Fan's body, they couldn't even pierce through his skin. He, Xie Fan, was the right-hand man of city governor, Weatherleaf, because he was the one in Weatherleaf's team who was the most capable of resisting all enemies. These grand perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms besieging him? Xie Fan didn't put them in his eyes at all. With his control over his body as a Dao comprehender, these poison demon dragons were unable to injure him. Although he wasn't injured, he was momentarily pinned down. Die. Xie Fan leisurely faced the enemy, and he was also paying attention to the situation on Dongbo Shuiying's side. What? That damned hidden horizon. Xie Fan's expression changed. Dongbo Shuiying was indeed in a terrible state. He only had the fleshly body of a late-stage God Emperor. Among the cultivators present, he was ranked towards the back. 1 versus 7? 3 God Emperor consummate stage poison demon dragons, 4 God Emperor advanced stage poison demon dragons, and most importantly, the poisonous stingers that they shot out were the greatest threat to the poison demon dragons. How could Dongbo Shuiying dare to resist them? He could only wield his spear and execute his spear techniques, using all sorts of moves to block the surrounding poison spikes and the poison demon dragons. Not good. If there were no thorns, he could still hold his ground against the poison demon dragon. However, with so many poisonous stingers flying towards him, Dongbo Shuiying had to divert most of his attention to defend against them. For a moment, he was in a difficult situation. Suddenly, 7 poison demon dragons shot out their poisonous stingers at the same time, causing Dongbo Shuiying to be greatly shocked. Chi! Suddenly, a black ribbon floating in the surroundings suddenly coiled and swept away all the poisonous thorns that had suddenly shot over. So strong! Dongbo Shuiying was surprised and overjoyed at the same time. He was well aware of the power of the venomous thorn, and the fact that the black and white ribbons were able to engulf the venomous thorn completely showed how powerful they were. By relying on this domain-like technique, Daoist Hidden Horizon status was comparable to Xie Fan. Dongbo Shuiying dealt with it in a dangerous manner. Pooh! From time to time, the poison demon dragon would strike Dongbo Shuiying's body with its claws, but the layers of the void around him were all useless. In the end, the claws would land on Dongbo Shuiying's body. Under the claws, black flames would rise, and Dongbo Shuang would be sent flying, coughing up blood. Daoist Hidden Horizon was clearly not helping them all the time. Usually he would allow Dongbo Shuang to be injured if it was not fatal. Only at the most crucial moment would he lend a hand. Previously, when Dongbo Shuang was being attacked by so many venomous spikes, he should have been hit by at least a batch of them. With so much venom entering his body, it was even more terrifying than being slapped by the claws of the Dongbo Shuang. Poison Demon Dragons. Scarlet Cloud City's cultivators were most afraid of their poisonous stingers. They fought and fled at the same time. Dongbo Shuang and the rest were extremely fast. In addition to the continuous deaths of some of the God Emperor middle stage and God Emperor late stage poison demon dragons, the obstruction of the poison demon dragons was constantly decreasing. Finally, the hunting squad managed to shake off these poison demon dragons and fled at high speed. We killed a total of 21 God Emperor middle stage poison demon dragons and 80 God Emperor late stage poison demon dragons. Dongbo Shuang thought. What a pity, there wasn't even a single God Emperor Grand Perfection stage poison demon dragon. In terms of value, the total number of poison demon dragons they killed couldn't even compare to a single God Emperor Grand Perfection stage poison demon dragon. Because in terms of size, the value of a God Emperor Grand Perfection stage poison demon dragon was extremely high. It was about 10,000 times more valuable than a God Emperor middle stage poison demon dragon. It was about 200 to 300 times more valuable than a God Emperor late stage poison demon dragon. Depending on the race, there would be some fluctuations. No other choice. Even if Xiefan wanted to kill a God Emperor Grand Perfection stage chaotic origin life form, he had to depend on the race and the survival capabilities of the other party. Furthermore, he had to fight one-on-one with sufficient time. Like when a large group of chaotic origin life forms work together, the moment a God Emperor Grand Perfection stage chaotic origin life form suffered heavy injuries, it would immediately retreat. It was very hard to kill it. This was also the reason why Dongbo Shuiying's flame lineage chaotic origin life form corpse might not exist in the sacred world. But it was very precious. That was the reason why Xiefan could only obtain 6 God Emperor Grand Perfection stage corpses and 1,000,000 cubic meters of food. Even so, it made the eyes of quite a few cultivators turn red. Xiefan wanted to kill him. Firstly, it was for his reputation. Secondly, it was for the sake of those 6 God Emperor Grand Perfection stage chaotic origin lifeform corpses. Brother Hidden Horizon, many thanks. The team resumed flying stealthily. Dongbo Shuiying transmitted a message to Daoist Hidden Horizon. Daoist Hidden Horizon glanced at Dongbo Shuiying before transmitting back. Younger brother Feishue, you don't have to thank me. I am just doing my best to help you. If the situation worsened, I'll definitely do my best to protect these good friends of mine. I understand. Dongbo Shuiying was clear too. In terms of relationship and responsibility, Daoist Hidden Horizon had to protect his own team members first. It was rare for an outsider like him to help out. As they continued flying, in the blink of an eye, it had been a day since they left Scarlet Cloud City. Even though they met some dangers, they were not as dangerous as those poison demon dragons. From day to night, and from night to day. Hoo, snow fell from the sky, scattering across the vast wilderness. Dongbo Shuiying and his team continued flying stealthily. Fellow Taoists, according to our investigations, there are some Mount Primal Chaos Serpents ahead. There are a total of 32 of them, and 15 of them are at the Grand Perfection level of God Emperor. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. This time, the main reason why I established this hunting team is to kill a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent at the Grand Perfection level of God Emperor. There aren't many Mount Primal Chaos Serpents ahead, and they pose little threat to us. As long as we succeed in killing them, we'll immediately return. Just 32 of them? This will be easy. 15 of them are at the Grand Perfection level of God Emperor. We have about 50 God Emperor Grand Perfection level serpents. Everyone present let out a sigh of relief. Mount Primal Chaos Serpents were considered one of the more noble bloodlines among chaotic origin life forms. In terms of individuals, they were far more difficult to deal with than the poison demon dragons. They were the most terrifying and troublesome enemies they met along the way. But they could not overcome the fact that they were few in numbers. In terms of threat, they were much lower than that group of poison demon dragons. It's going so smoothly this time? Xiefan slightly frowned. The journey this time was more than a day away from Scarlet Cloud City. Yet only the poison demon dragons could barely be considered a threat? And they only discovered 32 Mount Primal Chaos Serpents? If there were more than 100 of them, then Dongbo Shuang would undoubtedly die. But now Xiefan had no other choice. He did not dare to directly act against Dongbo Shuang within the team. The moment he did so, he would be challenging the unwritten rules of the entire Scarlet Cloud City. Coming out to hunt was fraught with danger. And to kill each other? From now on, who would dare to let him enter the team? The team rapidly got closer. That group of Mount Primal Chaos Serpents sensed it too. They similarly rushed over furiously. Amen. The expression of the gray-robed man changed slightly. Chapter 1353. The battle broke out instantly. There were only 32 Mount Primal Chaos Snakes, and only 15 of them were at God Emperor Peak Stage. The rest were all late God Emperor Peak Stage. Dongbo Shuang and the others had a total of 47 Perfection Stage God Emperor Combat Strength, 2 God Emperor Late Stage Combat Strength, and Xiefan and Taoist Hidden Horizon were 2 of the strongest experts in Scarlet Cloud City. The coordination between the cultivators was also excellent. But he only had a slight upper hand on the battlefield. Brother Feishua, let us help you. Don't be afraid, we're here. Xiefan and the rest of the 16 were still surrounding Dongbo Shuang. While they were fighting against the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, they were purposely letting the serpent loose, not helping Dongbo Shuang at all. A God Emperor Max level Mount Primal Chaos Serpent was fighting against Dongbo Shuang. This is the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent? Dongbo Shuang was not angry. Instead, he was happy. The reason he came out was to sharpen himself. Hua! This Mount Primal Chaos Serpent's body was translucent like an illusion. It easily coiled around Dongbo Shuang. Because it was illusory, the body of the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent could not be touched at all. It was as if it did not exist. However, after the illusory body coiled around his body, Dongbo Shuang felt that the pressure on him from the surroundings had increased significantly, causing his strength to drop by half. Hiss! Cultivator, die! The Mount Primal Chaos Serpent had a head and a tail, and one of its heads was like a rock. It forcefully smashed over with abnormally terrifying might. As for the other head, there was a black light revolving around it. Its movement speed was so fast that it left behind many afterimages. Every time it opened its mouth, Dongbo Shuang would be so frightened that he would execute his spear art to defend himself. He would definitely not dare to be bitten. The Mount Primal Chaos Serpent had 2 heads. One was as heavy as a mountain and indestructible, while the other was ghostly and poisonous. Once bitten, an ordinary cultivator at the peak stage of God Emperor would lose half his life. Just a few bites and he would probably die. This Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, his body was untouchable and could not be injured at all. Of the 2 snake heads, one was like a mountain. It was impossible to injure it. Up until now, no one had been able to break through the stone skull of God Emperor's Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. Only the other poisonous head was the only hope of killing it. The poisonous head contained the life core of the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. Once the poisonous head was broken, the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent would die. Dongbo Shuang was bound by the illusory body, causing his strength to be reduced by half. Facing the consecutive attacks from the 2 snakeheads, he could only barely hold his ground. This is just one Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. Fortunately, my spear skills are good enough to block it. Dongbo Shuang did not dare to be careless. He displayed all his spear skills with all his might. As for killing him, he had no intention of killing them. Even Xiefan, who had the strongest offense amongst the 51 cultivators present, could only kill the slightly weaker God Emperor Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin Lifeform in a one-on-one battle. For example, God Emperor's Mount Primal Chaos Serpent at the Grand Perfection level had to be surrounded and attacked. At this moment, Taoist Hidden Horizon and a total of 12 cultivators were working together to attack a single Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. The other cultivators in their team were defending against other Mount Primal Chaos Serpents and creating a good environment. The 12 of them worked together. Taoist Hidden Horizon's black-white domain was fully suppressing that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. Hong! The thunder sword light slashed down. Ho! An enormous illusory head appeared. It let out a roar, sending shockwaves at the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. All sorts of attacks came one after another. That Mount Primal Chaos Serpent that was surrounded twisted its body. Its illusory body blocked the incoming attacks, causing all attacks to weaken after passing through its illusory body. That indestructible stone head also became huge. It swallowed the poisonous head into its mouth. One head bit the other, forming a ring shape. Kill! Taoist Hidden Horizon and the others could only send their shockwaves at the stone head, transmitting them into the poisonous head in its mouth. The 12 cultivators had long prepared a plan, but when they truly acted, they still found it hard to deal with. It is too hard to kill. Its primal chaos body can easily dissipate a large amount of attacks. There is also the undying head protecting that poisonous head. Fortunately, Taoist Hidden Horizon and the others could sense that they had indeed injured that hidden poisonous head. The injuries of this Mount Primal Chaos Serpent were worsening. Because of this, they had the confidence to continue. Hidden Horizon, the closest wave of 69 Mount Primal Chaos Serpents is rushing over. I'm afraid we won't be able to kill this Mount Primal Chaos Serpent before they arrive. Hidden Horizon, why don't we ask that Xiafan for help? When Taoist Hidden Horizon heard the voice transmission of his comrade, he became anxious. The moment those 69 Mount Primal Chaos Serpents arrive, the number of Mount Primal Chaos Serpents here would rise to 101. Even though their team could still hold on, they would definitely be at a disadvantage. And this was only the closest wave. There were still more waves of Mount Primal Chaos Serpents rushing over. Xiafan, Taoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. Why? You can't deal with it and want my help? Xiafan transmitted with a strange smile. What condition? Taoist Hidden Horizon asked. Previously, you have been spoiling my plans and helping that Feishue. Xiafan sneered. I can stop helping you. Taoist Hidden Horizon transmitted back. This Mount Primal Chaos Serpent was related to his cultivation. He had to get it. Xiafan transmitted back. We didn't meet any huge dangers on the way here. If there aren't any huge dangers on the way back, even if you don't help him, he might still survive. Furthermore, if you don't help him, he would only lose a helping hand. That's all. This isn't enough for me to help you. What condition? Just say it. Taoist Hidden Horizon transmitted back. 2 Grand Perfection God Emperor Chaotic Origin Life Forms. Xiafan transmitted. Taoist Hidden Horizon was inwardly infuriated. I can give you 1,000,000 cubic meters of food. This is the highest I can accept. His accumulation was relatively small. A total of 3 God Emperor Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin Life Forms. But the moment he succeeded in killing them, he would definitely choose a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent after returning. He had to compensate for the other 50 people in the team. Just to compensate, he had to take out all 3 God Emperor Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin Life Forms and share them with everyone. Because a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent was equivalent to 3 other Chaotic Origin Life Forms at the same level. 1,000,000 cubic meters? Are you insulting me? Xiafan sneered. 1 God Emperor Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin Life Form. I'll temporarily owe you one. I'll find a chance to compensate you in the future. Taoist Hidden Horizon transmitted back. Just one? And you still owe me temporarily? I think you should just slowly kill it yourself. Xiafan sneered. Because Taoist Hidden Horizon had helped Dongbo Shuang previously, he was originally unhappy. Furthermore, the benefits Taoist Hidden Horizon gave him were too little. Even though Taoist Hidden Horizon was furious, he had no other choice. He could only continue attacking that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent with his companions. Hurry up and help me. Help me. This Mount Primal Chaos Serpent began asking for help. At that moment, the surrounding Mount Primal Chaos Serpents rushed over. Even the serpent that was originally attacking Dongbo Shuiying had rapidly abandoned Dongbo Shuiying and rushed over to Daoist Hidden Horizon. Block them. Xiefan, all of you must not watch by the side. Daoist Hidden Horizon and the others became anxious. Dongbo Shuiying and the other loose cultivators naturally flew over to help block the serpents. Xiefan and the other 15 sneered. But they still had to act against those Mount Primal Chaos serpents. Xiefan and the others were casually attacking. Xiefan, there is another batch of 69 Mount Primal Chaos serpents coming over. I hope for you to help me once. Let them come. As for helping you, 2 Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin life forms from God Emperor. Xiefan sneered. He was more than happy for the danger to increase. Even if another 69 serpents came, he believed it would not be a problem for him to protect himself. By then, when the number of Mount Primal Chaos serpents exceeded 100, that Monarch Feishue would most likely die. Wouldn't everything within the storage treasure of Monarch Feishue end up in their hands? Even though the treasures of Monarch Feishue would become the spoils of war for the entire team if he died, Xiefan and the others had a total of 16 cultivators. According to their contributions along the way, they might be able to get close to half of the treasures. Come. Xiefan was looking forward to it. Finally, kill these cultivators. Kill them. From afar, a group of Mount Primal Chaos serpents broke through the sky. They let out roars that reverberated across the world. A total of 69 serpents came. Their power was overwhelming. The moment they joined in, the entire situation changed. Xiefan and the other 15 cultivators were doing their best to defend, but the 16 of them remained surrounding Dongbo Shuiying and did not help him at all. He is doomed. This Feishue is most likely going to die. Those loose cultivators were all cooperating with the others. They did not dare to join in. They were originally weak, so what if they joined in? Some of them might even die. Feishue, I can't help you anymore. You have to be careful. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. No other choice. Daoist Hidden Horizon was in an even worse situation. Because that Mount Primal Chaos serpent they were currently fighting was letting out a cry for help, causing more than half of the Mount Primal Chaos serpents to surround Daoist Hidden Horizon and the others. At this moment, Daoist Hidden Horizon was extremely nervous. He unleashed his black-white domain with all his might. Black-white ribbons spread out, binding those Mount Primal Chaos serpents time after time, so that they could finish their encirclement. He has no companions to help him. It seems he has been isolated. Let's kill him first. The Mount Primal Chaos serpents were incredibly intelligent, especially the group of Mount Primal Chaos serpents that were fighting against Xiefan and the other 15 cultivators. They discovered that Dongbo Shuiying had been isolated. At that moment, 3 Grand Perfection God Emperor Mount Primal Chaos serpents separated and attacked Dongbo Shuiying. They were too lazy to care about the internal strife between the cultivators. As long as they could kill a cultivator, even killing one would make them go crazy. Just like how cultivators wanted to kill chaotic origin life forms for the sake of food. The chaotic origin life forms similarly desired to kill cultivators. Pung. Previously, Dongbo Shuiying had a hard time dealing with a single Mount Primal Chaos serpent. At this moment, 3 Grand Perfection God Emperor Mount Primal Chaos serpents assaulted him, forcing him into a desperate situation. Chapter 1354. Amidst the desperate situation, Dongbo Shuiying struggled to defend. He executed his spear to the limit. Pung! That rock-like head of the Mount Primal Chaos serpent was just like a small mountain ramming against Shuiying. Shuiying flew backwards. 3 bones in his body were broken, causing him to spurt out fresh blood. But closely following that, his body rapidly recovered. Now this is dangerous enough. Dongbo Shuiying was in a frenzy. This time, when he fought against the poison demon dragon, he was in a perilous situation. That time, he had also sharpened his spear techniques. It allowed him to feel that even though his Tao of Void had improved, he still discovered some problems in battles of life and death. And now the situation was even worse. As Dongbo Shuiying was risking his life, He was also discovering the problems with his Tao of Void. In order to reach the half-chaotic origin lifeform body, not only did his fleshly body reach the pinnacle beneath chaotic origin lifeforms, his spear techniques that contain the Tao of Void should similarly reach the pinnacle. Perfecting his spear techniques, perfecting his fleshly body. Actually, they were all improvements in Tao. Just 3 breaths of time later, Dongbo Shuang no longer dared to continue fighting. If this continues, my injuries will be too severe. I doubt I can maintain my peak state for too long. Dongbo Shuang thought. Let's erupt. My strongest fleshly body. Let me fight with all my might. Let me test out my spear techniques. Hong! The aura on Dongbo Shuaying's body abruptly surged. As Xiefan defended against the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, he was also paying attention to Dongbo Shuaying. Haha, he is completely being trampled on. Even though his spear techniques are not bad, he will definitely die within the time taken to brew a cup of tea. Following that, Hong, what? Xiefan watched with shock. At this moment, Dongbo Shuaying's body expanded to a height of about 10 meters. His entire body was covered in gray light. He was originally handsome, but now he became much more muscular and muscular. His aura was also vigorous and violent. This aura was not much weaker than Xiafan's. Half-chaotic origin lifeform body? Xiefan was startled. No, his aura is violent and unstable. He should not have truly reached the level of a half-chaotic origin lifeform body. Yet he could barely erupt to this stage. He could maintain this level of physical body for a short period of time. It belonged to having 1 foot over the threshold. Get lost. Shuang lashed out with his spear technique. Many circles of space revolved, slapping on the stone head of a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent by the side, causing that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent to roll backwards. After the explosion of his physical body. As someone who comprehended the laws and profound mysteries, his strength in the Tao of Void could temporarily remain at the level of Xiefan and Daoist Hidden Horizon. Peng, peng. With a clear advantage in strength, he naturally easily repelled the 3 Mount Primal Chaos Serpents. With Dongbo Shuaying's strength, it would probably take 8 to 9 God Emperor Great Circle Mount Primal Chaos Serpents to work together to hold him back. Awesome! Awesome! Dongbo Shuaying displayed his spear techniques without restraint. The same marksmanship. When one's fleshly body was strengthened to a whole new level, the power they could display was completely different. Xiefan and the rest of the 16 were completely stunned. No wonder he dared to not give me any face. Is this what he is relying on? Xiefan thought when he saw this. I can sense that his body is very unstable. Even his aura is somewhat chaotic. He definitely won't be able to maintain this state for long. When he is unable to hold on, I want to see what he will do. Big brother Xiefan, we are in trouble. Given his strength, even if he can maintain it for a short period of time, that Daoist Hidden Horizon will definitely help him. Xiafan's subordinates could sense that the situation was bad. Xiefan snorted coldly. Actually, he understood in his heart. A Great Circle God Emperor Great Circle expert, and a peak expert who could maintain his strength for a short period of time. Their statuses were completely different. This Feishue is actually so strong. With such strength, he should not be much weaker than Xiefan. At the very least, he should be on the same level. Right? Xiafan's battle style is more tyrannical and powerful. This Feishue's techniques are more unfathomable and unpredictable. He is similarly good at close combat. The unaffiliated cultivators were stunned by what they saw. The one who was the happiest was Daoist Hidden Horizon. When Daoist Hidden Horizon saw the 10 meters tall Dongbo Shuaying, his heart involuntarily raced. What a good monarch Feishue. I was thinking why he dared to not give face to Xiefan and Mo Shu. Even after knowing that Xiefan had joined the hunting squad, he still dared to come. What is he relying on? So it turns out that he is able to erupt with such strength for a short period of time. Monarch Feishue, is there any way to penetrate the stone head of the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent and attack the poisonous head in its mouth? Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. There is. Dongbo Shuang transmitted back. He had long comprehended a Tao of Void technique that could directly penetrate into the body of his enemy. Please help me kill this Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. It is already heavily injured, and only has 30% of its life force left. Taoist Hidden Horizon anxiously transmitted. Even though it only had 30% of its life force left, the offensive techniques of his companions were relatively weaker. Naturally, they could not compare with Dongbu Shuiying. As long as you help me kill this Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, I'm willing to give you a Grand Perfection Chaotic Origin Lifeform Corpse of God Emperor as thanks. But I'll have to wait for some time before I can give it to you. Taoist Hidden Horizon transmitted back. Haha, it's just a small matter. Dongbu Shuiying wielded his spear. He stepped on the void and charged over. Because the other cultivators were also fighting with some Mount Primal Chaos Serpents, Dongbu Shuiying did not meet any huge trouble along the way. He easily sent 1 or 2 Mount Primal Chaos Serpents flying. Following that, he charged into the group of Taoist Hidden Horizon and the others. Please help me. Taoist Hidden Horizon and the others had many techniques. They were either restraining or infiltrating the serpent. He is here. Dongbu Shuiying took a big step forward. He lashed out with his spear at the enormous stone head of that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. At this moment, the stone head was currently swallowing its poisonous head and protecting it. Wang. An unseen ripple immediately permeated through the obstructions and entered the poisonous head. Long, long, long. The injuries of this Mount Primal Chaos Serpent immediately worsened. Hurry up and save me. Save me. This Mount Primal Chaos Serpent let out a cry for help. Alright, hurry up and continue. Taoist Hidden Horizon felt great joy when he saw that. Their efficiency of surrounding the serpent was too slow. At this moment, with the help of Dongbu Shuiying, their efficiency had clearly skyrocketed. Pung pung pung. The spear in Dongbu Shuiying's hand continued hacking down furiously on the head of that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. It wanted to dodge and escape, but it had long been trapped and could not escape. It could only passively endure the bombardment. There were also some strange energies that were continuously permeating into its poisonous head, corroding it. Pung pung pung. Dongbu Shuiying struck out a total of 21 times before the soul aura of that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent was completely extinguished. That enormous stone had also loosened its mouth, allowing the poisonous head to come out. The stone head naturally shrunk, and the poisonous head naturally became bigger, returning to its original size. Ha ha. Taoist Hidden Horizon felt great joy. He waved his hand before keeping the corpse of this Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. At the same time, he transmitted to every member, the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent is in our hands. Fellow cultivators, hurry up and escape. Let's go. Go. The various parties no longer continued fighting. As they fought, they were doing their best to escape. The advantage of fighting while escaping was that they could choose their own escape route and try their best to throw off the other chaotic origin lifeforms that were surrounding them. Other than that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent which Taoist Hidden Horizon kept, they killed another 9 God Emperor late-stage Mount Primal Chaos Serpents. Only then did Dongbu Shuiying and his hunting team finally shake off the other chaotic origin lifeforms and escape. Ha ha ha, we finally escaped. Taoist Hidden Horizon was currently grinning from ear to ear. He was in a great mood. Dongbu Shuiying had long regained his normal appearance. At this moment, he was only left with slightly more than 20% of his life force. He was constantly absorbing the pieces of chaotic origin crystal jades to recover at the fastest speed possible. After all, he might have to fight at any moment on the way back. This chaotic origin refinement body of mine is still flawed. Currently, the moment I erupt, I have to maintain my body at least 10 meters tall. Dongbu Shuiying thought. This was already the smallest body he could maintain. His body was not stable, and he could not shrink his body any further. Humph. Xiefan glanced at Dongbu Shuiying with slight disdain. Xiefan was unhappy that he could not kill this Feishua. But he understood, with the current strength of Dongbu Shuiying, in addition to the fact that Taoist Hidden Horizon and his team were doing their best to help Dongbu Shuiying, they had no hope at all. At the same time when this hunting team returned, a vast river, many mutated beasts walked out from the river. They were densely packed together. All of their auras were grand. They were all at the Grand Perfection God Emperor realm, and there were a total of 500 of them. After they walked out of the river, a tall and big male walked out from the river. His entire body was covered in scales that were similar to those mutated beasts. He had crimson eyes. As he stepped on the void would tremble and distort. His wrists and ankles were shackled. The shackles extended into the void. As he walked out of the river, the golden inscriptions on these shackles gradually lit up. The shackles also turned bright red. Many golden inscriptions lit up, emitting chi-chi-chi sounds. Endless power was pressing down on his body. Damn overlords! There will be a day when all the territories under you overlords will be destroyed, leaving behind only you overlords. This tall and big male gritted his teeth. After he walked out, a large number of mutated beasts followed behind him. They were all at the Grand Perfection God Emperor realm. A total of 1,000 chaotic origin lifeform guards. This was clearly a patrol by a chaotic origin prisoner. Every single chaotic origin prisoner suffered from torture day and night. The only way to alleviate this torture was to kill the cultivators. Amen. The tall and big male suddenly turned towards a direction. He had received news from the chaotic origin lifeforms under him that there was currently a team of cultivators in the distance. Fourth watch completed. Chapter 1355. Cultivators. The crimson eyes of that tall and big male flashed with coldness. Regardless of whether it was because killing the cultivators could alleviate the torment he suffered from the days and nights of imprisonment, or because of his hatred towards the cultivators, he would do his best to kill the cultivators. Wu, the tall and big male said. South, amidst the 1,000 God Emperor Grand Perfection chaotic origin lifeform protectors, a mutated beast flashed to the side of that tall and big male. It respectfully lowered its head. King. The chaotic origin prisoner was a high-graded chaotic origin lifeform. He was also the undisputed leader of this branch of hidden devil hunters. The tall and big male indifferently said. Currently, there is a team of cultivators not too far away from us. Led 500 protectors, and order them around according to my orders. Yes. Hidden devil hunter Wu respectfully acknowledged. Very soon. The 500 hidden devil hunters rapidly left. They could communicate with their leader through their soul at all times. This was also one of the techniques of high-graded chaotic origin lifeforms. I hope they don't escape this time. The tall and big male then led his subordinates in another direction. According to his experience over the long years, these cultivators were extremely slippery. The moment they discovered danger, they would explode with a frightening speed to escape for their lives. Every hunting team would specially invite a cultivator who specialized in speed. Their speed far surpassed other cultivators at the same level. Even those chaotic origin lifeforms could not match up to their speed. Precisely because of their advantage in speed, the cultivators could escape from their pursuers time and time again. That tall and big male had deliberately sent 500 subordinates to chase away the team of cultivators, causing them to fall into a trap. Even so, it was uncertain if they could succeed. The snow that was the size of goose feathers still covered the entire land, causing the entire wilderness to be covered in white snow. Dongbo Ying and the other 51 cultivators did not leave behind any traces of aura. They stealthily proceeded forward. Brother Feishue, this time, it is all thanks to you that I could obtain the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. Taoist Hidden Horizon and Dongbo Ying walked side by side. Those subordinates of Taoist Hidden Horizon who originally did not like Dongbo Ying treated him politely at this moment. Even without me, Brother Hidden Horizon should be able to obtain it after spending some time. Dongbo Ying chuckled. You can't say that. The longer I delayed, the more chaotic origin lifeforms that would rush over. Even though I might be able to kill that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, according to the previous situation, I might not be able to kill it in time. I had to give up and choose to escape. The entire team of cultivators is definitely not willing to fall into a desperate situation. Taoist Hidden Horizon said. Everyone was willing to take on some dangers. But if they were to watch helplessly as they fell into a desperate situation, even the subordinates of Taoist Hidden Horizon would choose to resist and flee for their lives. Haha, if you feel that you owe me something, wait until we return to Scarlet Cloud City. Just give me another grand perfection chaotic origin lifeform corpse of a god emperor. I wouldn't mind it either. Dongbo Shuang teased. You want to give more? As for the one that I promised you, I will have to temporarily put it on credit. I hope that I can kill a few along the way. Taoist Hidden Horizon curled his lips. The two of them chatted casually and were in a good mood. Hidden Horizon, we have been discovered by more than 80 hidden devil hunters. The gray-robed man transmitted. We have been discovered. Taoist Hidden Horizon frowned. How many Grand Perfection God Emperor Hidden Devil Hunters are there? My initial judgment is that God Emperor Hidden Horizon is close to half the Grand Perfection lifeforms, the gray-robed man said. Then let's kill them. This time we have killed fewer prey. Let's kill more on the way back. Taoist Hidden Horizon was calm. Taoist Hidden Horizon then transmitted to all the cultivators. Fellow cultivators, we have been discovered by a team of hidden devil hunters. There are a total of more than 80 of them, and close to half of them are God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms. Let's prepare to fight. More than 80? They are hidden devil hunters. Everyone in the team was relaxed. They did not care. Hidden devil hunters were a relatively huge tribe. According to estimations, there should be more than 50,000 hidden devil hunters. Such a huge tribe. Their bloodline was not considered noble among the many chaotic origin lifeforms. Their strength was ordinary too. For instance, a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent could fight against 3 hidden devil hunters of the same level. Just 80 or so hidden devil hunters. That was a complete sweep. Brother Feishue, you have to help us out. Let's work together and kill 1 or 2 God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms. Taoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. Alright, the reason why I came out is because I want to get more food. Dongbo Shuang answered. This time, other than that Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, they had yet to kill any other Grand Perfection lifeforms of God Emperor. Hong. The battle erupted after a short moment. Dongbo Shuang and the other Grand Perfection lifeforms of God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms outnumbered these chaotic origin lifeforms. Under perfect coordination, they were able to sweep through everything. And this time, with Dongbo Shuang cooperating with Taoist Hidden Horizon and the other Grand Perfection lifeforms of God Emperor Grand Perfection, Hidden Devil Hunter, they managed to kill one of them. Hong. Dongbo Shuang, who grew to a height of 10 meters, gave off a berserk aura. His spear hacked down on the head of the Hidden Devil Hunter, causing its head to cave in. That Hidden Devil Hunter's soul aura was finally extinguished. Success! It's dead. Taoist Hidden Horizon and the others were overjoyed. Dongbo Shuang also let out a sigh of relief. His body immediately shrunk back to his original size. Just 10 breaths of time later, he had consumed 20% of his life force. The life force that he had just recovered by relying on the chaotic origin crystal jades had decreased once again. This is truly not easy. With Taoist Hidden Horizon restraining me, a group of Grand Perfection God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms working together, and even with my full strength, I still spent 10 breaths of time killing a Grand Perfection lifeform of God Emperor. Dongbo Shuang sighed inwardly. Hidden Devil Hunters were one of the most ordinary chaotic origin lifeforms, yet killing a Grand Perfection God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeform was so taxing. What? Xiefan felt slightly jealous when he saw that. He and his subordinates could not even kill a God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeform. No other choice. Taoist Hidden Horizon and Dongbo Shuang could both exert the strength of the apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City. Ultimately, Xiefan was just a single person. Hidden Horizon. Xiefan could not help but transmit, "Help me too." Taoist Hidden Horizon's black-white domain was extremely effective in suppressing the strength of the enemy. You finally know to ask for my help? Taoist Hidden Horizon glanced at the distant Xiefan. The two of them exchanged glances. If you help me, by then when the Scarlet Cloud Hall Spirit distributes the spoils, you will be given more. Xiefan transmitted. Other apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City would usually want their face. Previously, both parties had an ugly relationship, and it was impossible for them to ask Taoist Hidden Horizon for help. But Xiefan did not care about his face. Previously, He had torn apart all pretense of cordiality. Turning around, he was smiling and negotiating. "You are begging me?" Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. "All right, I'll help you." Many thanks, many thanks." Xiafan grinned again. "But we can't stay here for too long. When we meet the next wave of chaotic origin lifeforms, I'll help you," Daoist Hidden Horizon said. "Fellow cultivators, let's continue our journey. Don't continue fighting," Daoist Hidden Horizon ordered. They could not continue fighting outside the city. They had to end the battle within a short period. This hunting team led by Dongbo Shuang rapidly fled once again. The team was filled with laughter. Many cultivators were in a good mood, because they had just killed a grand perfection god emperor. But suddenly, what? Daoist Hidden Horizon's expression changed. He stared at the distant gray-robed man. "Are you sure you saw wrongly?" "That's right." The gray-robed man nodded. "What happened?" The other cultivators turned to Daoist Hidden Horizon. Daoist Hidden Horizon anxiously transmitted to everyone. "There are more than 800 hidden devil hunters who discovered us. They are currently chasing after us. Furthermore, there are more than 600 God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms. In reality, they were the 500 protectors sent by the chaotic origin prisoner. Along the way, these 500 protectors had also met some small groups of hidden devil hunters. They gathered together, forming a huge team of more than 800 hidden devil hunters." "What? More than 800 hidden devil hunters? There are more than 600 God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms?" They were all stunned. They even felt chills in their hearts. Hidden devil hunters were relatively ordinary. This team of cultivators was confident of fighting against 200 God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms hidden devil hunters to a standstill. When they encountered 300 God Emperor Grand Perfection hidden devil hunters, they were confident of escaping even if they had to fight. For 100 of them, the moment they fought, there would definitely be casualties in the team. 500 of them, the team suffered heavy casualties, and it was normal for half of them to die. More than 800, or even more than 600 God Emperor Grand Perfection lifeforms. The moment they fought, if they were lucky, a few might survive. If they were unlucky, they might be wiped out. "Run, run, run!" Xiafan roared. "Hurry up and flee!" "Hurry up!" Daoist Hidden Horizon ordered. So, a gray light enveloped the entire team. Their speed rose to the limit as they frantically fled. Chapter 1356. How could this be? Why would we meet such a huge group of hidden devil hunters? More than 800 of them, and more than 600 of them are actually at the Grand Perfection level of God Emperor? The ratio of God Emperor to Grand Perfection level is too high. Our luck is too bad. We actually met such a terrifying group of hidden devil hunters. The team was fleeing at their fastest speed. All of them were anxious and filled with disbelief, because it was too rare to meet such a huge group of chaotic origin lifeforms. Most of the time, they would only gather at places close to the territory of the chaotic origin prisoner. The route they took along the way was carefully arranged. They were very far away from the territory of any chaotic origin prisoner. At this moment, what the cultivators in this hunting team did not know was that they had coincidentally met with a chaotic origin prisoner patrolling. The chaotic origin prisoner was patrolling at a place that was relatively close to them. That was why they were able to make arrangements. If that chaotic origin prisoner was in his territory, they were very far away. Even if they received the news, they would not be able to rush over in time. Fellow cultivators, don't worry. We have discovered those 800 over hidden devil hunters ahead of time. They are still quite far away from us. Our current speed is much faster than theirs. Hence, we should be able to shake them off in a short while. They can no longer sense us. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. "MN. Let us hurry up and shake them off." Even though they were still quite far away, they could not feel at ease if they did not shake them off, because the moment they caught up to them, it would be a calamity. But it seemed that the luck of the cultivators was quite average. Not long after they fled. Not good. There is a group of white stone gods ahead. More than 200 white stone gods have discovered us. The cold golden armored male anxiously said at this moment. What white stone gods? Daoist Hidden Horizon was greatly startled. I reckon more than half of them are at the grand perfection level of God Emperor. The cold golden armored male added. Daoist Hidden Horizon felt incredibly anxious. White stone gods were much stronger than the hidden devil hunters. A single white stone god was equivalent to 2 hidden devil hunters of the same level. Now there were 200 white stone gods. In terms of strength, they were not inferior to their team of hunters. The white stone god is attacking from the front, and the hidden devil hunter is attacking from the back. If we take a detour, it's very likely that the distance between us and them will decrease. The cold golden armored man transmitted. Hidden Horizon, this is the distribution map of the other clans that we've discovered in the surroundings. Those clans haven't discovered us yet. Yes. Daoist Hidden Horizon pondered over the distribution of the surrounding chaotic origin lifeform tribes. Now there were 2 groups who had discovered them. Behind them was a terrifying group of more than 800 hidden devil hunters. There was a group of 200 white stone gods in front of them. The distance between them was rapidly shrinking. There were other clans around that did not notice them. The distance between us and the hidden devil hunters is still rather far. As long as we put in our all, we will have sufficient time to charge out of the obstruction of white stone god. Daoist Hidden Horizon instantly made his decision. Follow him. Daoist Hidden Horizon immediately transmitted the situation to every cultivator in the team. What? There's still the white stone god? There are 200 white stone gods ahead. All of them panicked. The situation this time was really bad. Right now, the best solution is to charge forward with our fastest speed. The group of hidden devil hunters is slightly further behind us. We have the confidence of breaking through the obstruction of white stone gods before they catch up to us. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. Alright. Charge. Everyone had also obtained the distribution map of the surrounding clans. They knew this was the best choice. Brother Feishua, I know you can't maintain your peak strength for too long, but you have to give it a try. Daoist Hidden Horizon transmitted. Rest assured. Dong Wuxia nodded. He was the calmest in the entire team, because to him, this was a journey to temper himself. He did not feel that the 800 hidden devil hunters behind him were in much danger. They are here. Prepare for battle. Because both parties were charging at each other, the team of cultivators and the group of white stone gods soon met. The white stone gods were giants that were formed from white rocks. There were big and small ones, and all of them were humanoid. They even wielded weapons in their hands. Some were stone rods, and some were stone axes. There were even stone hammers. All sorts of weapons were made from white rocks. Kill. Kill these cultivators. Over 200 white stone gods roared. They wielded their gigantic weapons and charged towards Dongbushueying and the rest. Dongbushueying and the rest of the cultivators also erupted with power. They coordinated perfectly, using restraining techniques to deal with the white stone gods, some using sinister techniques to interfere with them, and some using combined techniques. All sorts of strange techniques were used. Dongbushueying had also transformed into a 10-meter-tall giant. His skin was glowing with a gray light. At this moment he was combining all sorts of profound techniques. The strength he could unleash was not any weaker than a grand perfection god emperor white stone god. His techniques were strange and far superior. Go. He easily sent a white stone god flying far away. The white stone god somersaulted in midair and landed on the ground, causing the earth to tremble. Quick, let's shake them off. Daoist Hidden Horizon released his black and white domain. The black and white ribbons spread out, affecting the entire battlefield. Very soon, the team of cultivators broke through the obstruction of this group of white stone gods. The moment they broke through, they immediately shook off their pursuers and fled at high speed. The group of hidden devil hunters is getting closer to us. Those present did not dare to relax at all. According to their investigations, the distance between them and the group of hidden devil hunters had shrunk by more than half. This body of mine can only last for a short period. Dongbushweing had also returned to his normal size, though he was left with only 20% of his life force. No other choice. Even if his body was in perfect condition, he could only last for the time taken to brew a cup of tea, even if his fleshy body completely disintegrated. This fleshy body of mine can't even last for a slightly longer battle. Dongbushweing shook his head inwardly. What? No. The gray-robed man's expression abruptly turned pale. His eyes were filled with shock and fury. Everyone in the team turned to him. Even Taoist Hidden Horizon was stunned. He immediately asked, "Barbarian insect, what happened?" "Prisoner." The gray-robed man transmitted to everyone. He said with slight despair, "Chaotic origin prisoner. Just ahead, there is a chaotic origin prisoner, leading more than 700 hidden devil hunters. It is the chaotic origin prisoner of the hidden devil hunters. I understand now. Everything is a scheme, a scheme. It should be coincidentally when this prisoner went out for a patrol, and this chaotic origin prisoner discovered us. Hence, he sent a large group of hidden devil hunters to chase us away. We are being chased away according to the direction it wants us to go. Yet this prisoner is leading his subordinates to kill their way over. We are doomed. We are doomed." The team turned silent. They were all stunned. Their hearts were filled with despair. I have been cultivating all my way from my hometown planet to becoming the #1 expert in the cosmos. I have even jumped out of the restraints of the cosmos. Step by step, I have seen many cultivators from different civilizations fall. Today, am I going to fall too? A loose golden-robed old man muttered to himself. The prisoner went out for a patrol. We are doomed. Many cultivators recalled their lives at this moment. They chose to come to this world because they were prepared to die. But when this day came, they felt complicated in their hearts. They understood the current situation. This was a chaotic origin prisoner, going out for a patrol and coincidentally discovered them. Hence, he had laid down a scheme for them. In fact, this kind of thing also happened in history, but it was very, very rare. Because there were only a few chaotic origin prisoners in the entire sacred world. They would usually stay in their territories. The moment they left their territories, the torture and punishment they would suffer would be heavier. Hence, it was rare for them to go out for a patrol. And it was rare for a prisoner to appear. Their team of cultivators would only come out for a hunt once after they had gathered together. Coincidentally, the probability was low. But it had happened before in history. Hidden Horizon. Xiefan's eyes were filled with madness. He directly transmitted to Hidden Horizon. At this moment, there is only a single path of survival. That is to split up. The group of hidden devil hunters is chasing after us. And in front of us, there are more than 700 hidden devil hunters led by the chaotic origin prisoner. We will die if we split up. We can only escape in 2 directions. Given their numbers, if we escape together, we will definitely die. We have to split up. Who knows, we might be able to survive if we split into several teams. Taoist Hidden Horizon looked at Xiefan. Yes. Split up. By then, you and I will pick out the elites in our team and form a team of not more than 10 people. Xiefan continued. This hunting team of ours has a total of 51 people. If we form a team of not more than 10 people, I believe there won't be too many hidden devil hunters chasing after us. Our team has gathered the strongest elites, and it is possible for us to escape alive. Taoist Hidden Horizon hesitated. Who should we pick? This is a name list that I have come up with. Xiefan immediately passed over a name list through his communication treasure. What, there is no monarch Faixua? Taoist Hidden Horizon felt puzzled. He is only left with 20% of his life force. The time he could maintain his peak combat strength is clearly short. With just 20% of his life force, the time he could maintain it is ridiculously short. We are escaping for our lives, and it is possible for us to be chased after. Xiefan transmitted. It is better to let him stay in another team. His chaotic aura is unable to be concealed. Instead, it will attract more attention. Saying it was slow. But in reality, the two of them were communicating at a rapid pace. I have to amend this name list. Taoist Hidden Horizon gritted his teeth. There were a total of 9 people on the name list. He and Xiefan took up 2 spots, leaving only 7 spots. Xie Fan's subordinates and his subordinates had to give up many of them. This caused Taoist Hidden Horizon to feel grief and indignation, but he also understood that this was indeed their only hope. Kill these cultivators. Kill them. The group of hidden devil hunters in front of them had already appeared in their vision. As they moved towards each other, the distance between them rapidly shrunk. Many hidden devil hunters arced through the sky, charging towards them. Behind them, a tall and big man could be faintly seen. That tall and big man's wrists and ankles were shackled with shackles. Golden runes were constantly appearing on the shackles, as though an incomparably terrifying pressure was suppressing this tall and big man. That tall and big man coldly looked at everything. He watched as the densely packed hidden devil hunters under him charged towards that hunting team. If we scatter and escape, we might still have a chance of survival. Xie Fan suddenly transmitted his voice in anger. He and Taoist Hidden Horizon immediately brought along 7 other cultivators, turning into streams of light and escaping without hesitation. What? When the other cultivators saw this, they understood that Xie Fan and Taoist Hidden Horizon had given up on the other cultivators. Dongbo Shuiying was startled. Following that, he felt enlightened. That's right. He was only left with 20% of his life force. He could not maintain his peak fleshy body for too long. Flee. Some cultivators chose to flee. Risk it all. Let's gamble with our lives. Perhaps we might break through to the chaotic origin level after dying. Some cultivators stood at their original positions. They felt disdain from fleeing. Many cultivators chose different daos. Interesting. Dongbo Shuiying softly shook his head. He took a step south, arcing through the sky. Dongbo Shuiying took the initiative to welcome the incoming group of hidden devil hunters. Illusory realm, descend. Dongbo Shuiying looked ahead. He extended his hand and pressed down. Hong. Chapter 1357. Many hidden devil hunters arced through the sky towards the cultivators in front of them. They naturally split up. Of course, Dongbo Shuiying and the others were at the center and did not escape. In the opinion of the hidden devil hunters, they could reach the cultivators in the shortest time. Hence, more than half of the hidden devil hunters charged in the direction of Dongbo Shuiying and the others. Dongbo Shuiying took a step and arced through the sky. He arrived at the forefront and took the initiative to welcome this large group of hidden devil hunters. He extended his right hand and pressed down. Illusory realm, descend. With a thought, Dongbo Shuiying unleashed his strongest killing technique in the Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm. Hong! A huge illusory realm descended. What is this? These chaotic origin life forms, hidden devil hunters, could feel an illusory world pulling their souls frantically. It was trying to drag their souls into that illusory world, causing them to sink into oblivion. These hidden devil hunters instinctively resisted. One could see long, some of the weaker middle-stage God Emperor, hidden devil hunters that were originally flying through the sky were smashed onto the ground. Their life aura was extinguished and they died on the spot. Even 2 of the late-stage God Emperor hidden devil hunters had lost their consciousness as they smashed onto the ground. They similarly died. In the blink of an eye. Of the 200 over hidden devil hunters that charged towards Dongbo Shuiying, 29 had died in an instant. As for the other hidden devil hunters like the late-stage God Emperor hidden devil hunters, some were left with 30% to 40% of their original strength. The weaker ones were left with 10% to 20%. As for the Grand Perfection hidden devil hunters like the God Emperor hidden devil hunters, they had to expend a large amount of heart force to resist. Their strength had dropped by a huge chunk, approximately half of what it was previously. How could this be? King, there is a terrifying world pulling our souls. It wants to drag our souls into that enormous world. King, I am only left with 10% of my original strength. Some of the late-stage God Emperor hidden devil hunters were so frightened that they began retreating. Their intelligence was incredibly high. They were clear that they were only left with 10% to 20% of their original strength. If they encountered those cultivators, they would be easily slaughtered. Oh, God Emperor Late Stage and God Emperor Mid Stage Retreat. A voice rang out in the minds of all the hidden devil hunters. It was the king's voice. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Even those hidden devil hunters who had yet to enter Dongbo Shui Ying's mirage and illusory world, as long as they were at the late and middle stages of God Emperor's strength, began to retreat. Because of this, a miraculous scene unfolded on the battlefield. When Dongbo Shuang took a step forward and took the initiative to meet the group of hidden devil hunters, he stretched his hand out in front of him. Immediately, 29 of the hidden devil hunters lost control and crashed into the ground, dying instantly. Moreover, over 100 of the weaker hidden devil hunters immediately retreated in fear. The only ones who still dared to attack were God Emperor Grand Perfection. A huge world. As for the tall man standing at the back, the shackles on his wrists and ankles were shackled with mysterious golden patterns. The heavy punishments were constantly suppressing and torturing him, but he had long since gotten used to it. At this moment he was very surprised. A huge world dragging the soul? This is a technique that targets the soul. Furthermore, it has a large area of effect. As long as one enters that region, he would be attracted by that huge world. The tall and big male pondered. In this world, there is actually an expert who is so powerful in the soul aspect? I have never heard of him before. The tall and big male was clear. Even though he was a high-graded chaotic origin life form, he could easily wipe out all cultivators in this world if he was not suppressed. But he was imprisoned and tortured. The further he was from his territory, the stronger the suppression and punishment he would suffer. For instance, if he walked to the Scarlet Cloud City, his strength would fall to a stage where any cultivator could kill him. In this world, other than the strongest chaotic origin prisoner, the Sea of Abyss Master, the other chaotic origin prisoners were extremely cautious when they went out for patrol. The further they were from their territory, the more protectors they would bring. This soul domain technique is useless in front of him. The tall and big male frowned slightly. Behind Dongbo Shuang, there were 18 cultivators who did not flee. They were prepared to fight to the death. They even harbored a strand of hope in their hearts, that they might be lucky enough to break through to the chaotic origin life form realm before death. However, just as they were about to risk their lives in battle, everything that Shuang did in front of them made them dumbstruck. This? What is going on? I don't see any technique at all. They were all stunned. Dongbo Shuang had indeed extended his hand and pressed down. It seemed as if he had made a move, but soul techniques could not be seen by the naked eye. Dongbo Shui Ying's Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm had evaded the cultivators on his side. Hence, these cultivators could not understand what technique Dongbo Shuang had executed. He was still far away, yet he had yet to touch those hidden devil hunters. 29 of those hidden devil hunters had died, and more than 100 had fled in fright. This was something they had never heard of before. Unfathomable. Kill. Those Grand Perfection God Emperor hidden devil hunters were incredibly fast. They had arrived in an instant. Because they were the closest, and Dongbo Shuang and the others did not flee, they were the first to engage in battle. More than 50 hidden devil hunters surrounded Dongbo Shuang. There were even hidden devil hunters attacking other cultivators. Fight! Dongbo Shuang ordered. Fellow cultivators, don't worry. Their strength has greatly decreased. There is nothing to worry about. Dongbo Shuang wielded a spear. Even if he did not unleash his peak fleshy body, his fleshy body was at the late-stage God Emperor realm. Being a Tao cultivator, he could completely unleash the strength of God Emperor Grand Perfection. Furthermore, those cultivators who were prepared to fight to the death were also displaying their techniques and helping one another. Pung. Dongbo Shuang casually swung his spear, sending a hidden devil hunter flying. With his spear flying, Dongbo Shuang executed the Void Devil Insect movement technique, causing his figure to turn blurry. Although there were more than 50 hidden devil hunters surrounding him, at most, 7 or 8 of them could attack Dongbo Shuang at the same time. Dongbo Shuang easily blocked their attacks. The strength of these hidden devil hunters had greatly decreased. They were only at the late-stage God Emperor Grand Perfection. They're so weak. Why are they so weak? It feels like their strength is only at the late-stage God-Emperor Grand Perfection. However, their fleshy bodies are still very strong. They are even at the God-Emperor Grand Perfection. The cultivators who were prepared to fight to the death were shocked to discover a problem. These hidden devil hunters, who originally had the aura of the God-Emperor Grand Perfection, still possessed heaven-defying fleshy bodies and life force. They were still at the God-Emperor Grand Perfection. However, their offensive techniques had greatly decreased. With the help of one another, the 18 of them in Dongbuo, a total of 19 cultivators, were able to completely suppress the more than 200 hidden devil hunters. Emperor Feishue, what kind of technique is this? It's too powerful. These hidden devil hunters are all greatly weakened. Let alone 200, I feel like we can easily suppress even 500 or 600 of them. A metallic giant wielding a huge hammer sent a hidden devil hunter flying with a single swing. Pung pung pung. 7 or 8 hidden devil hunters were sent flying in a row. It was a complete sweep. Emperor Feishue, I'm truly impressed. Monarch Flying Snow, our lives have been saved by you. They had thought that they were doomed. Now that they saw hope, they were all extremely excited. At the same time, they were filled with admiration for Dongbuo Ying's methods. Such methods, even the 3 city lords did not have them. Let us go and save the others. Dongbuo transmitted. Listen to Emperor Feishue. Emperor Feishue, we'll save whoever you say. All of them transmitted. Dongbuo and the others who remained at their original position were the first to engage in battle. As for the other cultivators who were fleeing in different directions, they were also paying attention to the situation of their companions. Similarly, they had witnessed Dongbuo Ying's unimaginable methods. First, he single-handedly killed 29 hidden devil hunters from afar, causing more than 100 of them to flee. Then he led 18 cultivators and actually suppressed more than 200 Great Perfection Stage God Emperor hidden devil hunters. Every single hidden devil hunter seemed to have become extremely weak, and they were easily defeated. Stop fleeing. When Daoist Hidden Horizon saw this, his heart was shaken. He immediately made a decision and transmitted to his subordinates. Hurry up and return. Rendezvous with Emperor Feishue. That is our path of survival. Return. Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan's group of 9, Daoist Hidden Horizon, and the other 7 did not hesitate to return. Xiefan hesitated for a moment. But soon after, he no longer hesitated and charged towards Dongbuo. However, this was because they had fled in different directions. It would be troublesome to rescue them. 3 cultivators still died. After Dongbuo saved many teams, there was only one team left. The team of 9 led by Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan. Actually, it was because Dongbuo had always been flying around to rescue them that prevented Daoist Hidden Horizon and the others from meeting up with Dongbuo. Of course, he had deliberately placed the team led by Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan at the very end. Firstly, it was because Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan took the initiative to abandon the other cultivators. Secondly, this team was the strongest team amongst the 51 cultivators and could last longer. Brother Feishue, I was wrong previously. Hurry up and help us out. We can't hold on any longer. Daoist Hidden Horizon and the other 8 cultivators were currently suffering from a total of 80 hidden devil hunters. Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan were both apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City. With the 2 of them around, the other 7 could complement each other and barely hold on. Monarch Feishue, should we save them? That Xiefan has schemed against you time and time again. They have all abandoned us previously. The cultivators transmitted to Dongbuo. They were waiting for Dongbuo Ying's orders. Clearly, these cultivators that were saved by Dongbuo treated Dongbuo as the absolute pillar of the team. Even though quite a few of them had once followed Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan, they were absolutely standing on the side of Dongbuo. Even though they understood the choices made by Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan. But when Daoist Hidden Horizon and Xiefan abandoned them, their feelings for each other had disappeared. Some cultivators even felt hatred and anger. Save them first. That chaotic origin prisoner is still watching from afar. Dongbo Shuang transmitted. All right. Save them. Under Dongbo Shui Ying's order, everyone acknowledged. Monarch Feishue, the 800 over hidden devil hunters that are chasing after us from another direction are about to reach us. But the middle and late stage God Emperor have retreated. There are still 600 over Grand Perfection God Emperor hidden devil hunters charging over. The cold golden armored male transmitted to Dongbo Shuang. He was also one of the abandoned targets. The team chosen by Taoist Hidden Horizon was sufficiently simple. There was only one that specialized in scouting, that gray-robed man, barbarian insect. The other group of hidden devil hunters is about to arrive? Dongbo Shuang felt his heart tightening. Adding both sides together, there were about 1,200 Grand Perfection God Emperor hunters. Even though their strength had greatly decreased, there were still too many of them. Furthermore, there was still that chaotic origin prisoner. Dongbo Shuang had always been vigilant against the chaotic origin prisoner. At this moment, he did not even unleash his strongest fleshy body. Instead, his body was constantly absorbing chaotic origin crystal jades to recover his strength. This was all in preparation for the threat of the chaotic origin prisoner. Hurry up. Brother Feishue, hurry up. We can't hold on any longer. Taoist Hidden Horizon anxiously said. Dongbo Shuang and the others were also rushing over with all their strength. At this moment, more and more hidden devil hunters were attacking the team of Taoist Hidden Horizon. Wang. Before the mirage and illusory realm domain enveloped the team, another cultivator had fallen. This caused the number of cultivators that died to reach 4. They have become weaker. Taoist Hidden Horizon, Xiefan, and the others discovered this point with shock and joy. Xiefan even glanced at Dongbo Shuang, who came to reinforce them. Many thoughts flashed through his mind. This monarch Feishue actually has such unfathomable techniques. Even though he is slightly weaker in direct combat, with such techniques his ability to rally supporters in Scarlet Cloud City would most likely be stronger than the 3 city masters. Xiefan felt regretful. But it was too late. After all, he had severely offended this Monarch Feishue. Monarch Feishue, I have offended you previously. It is all because of my foolishness. It is all my fault. Just treat me as a fart and let me go. Xiefan transmitted to Dongbo Shuang. When Dongbo Shuang heard Xiefan's transmission, he was slightly startled. No matter what, he was one of the apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City. Yet he did not care about his reputation at all. Previously, the other party had tried to deal against him several times. If not for his strength, he would have died. Brother Feishue, I am ashamed, truly ashamed. Taoist Hidden Horizon immediately apologized. Let's deal with the chaotic origin prisoner first. Dongbo Shuang said. Right, there is still the chaotic origin prisoner. At this moment, this team was absolutely centered around Dongbo Shuang. With Monarch Feishue around, we will definitely survive this time. Xiefan even raised his voice. Who knows, we might even be able to kill that chaotic origin prisoner. Everyone has to listen to the orders of Monarch Feishue. If anyone dares to be negligent, I, Xiefan, will be the first to not let him off. Dongbo Shuang took a deep breath. He had finally witnessed how shameless Xiefan was. Truly shameless. This Xiefan. The other cultivators were speechless too. At the same time when Dongbo Shuang and his team of cultivators converged. From another direction, another batch of over 600 God Emperor Grand Perfection Hidden Devil Hunters rushed over. They are all here. That tall and big male who was not in a rush to act nodded slightly when he saw that. As long as we get rid of that person who specializes in soul techniques, the other cultivators will definitely die. Hua. That tall and big male strode forward. He stepped on the void at an incredibly fast speed. He was surrounded by a large number of hidden devil hunters protecting him. At this moment, approximately 1,200 God Emperor Grand Perfection hidden devil hunters were madly surrounding Dongbo Shuang and the others. Even though they were much weaker, their bodies were tyrannical and did not fear death. Welcome the enemy. Dong Bushwang stared at that tall and big male sternly. That tall and big male brought with him an incomparably heavy pressure. It felt as if he was carrying an entire world as he moved forward. He was constantly enduring the endless pain and pressure. And the expression of this tall and big male was incredibly calm. His crimson eyes were only staring at Dong Bushwang. Clearly, in the eyes of this chaotic origin prisoner, this white-robed young cultivator was his true opponent. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.